What is this foolishness?
How many dreams can you shape in a minute, an hour?
The kind of clean you like best.
Lost 3 of my teeth, too. All right, so you lost. Next time you'll win.
Steamy, hot, hearty, delicious, invigorating.
And we're live, everybody. Put your headsets on. Strap up.
For real? You didn't even point?
No, I got caught up in everybody's story. I missed it, that our intro band is talking.
Distracted driver.
Well, welcome everybody to Ike Live. It's good to have you with us. We have another, typical start for Ike Live. It always makes it fun and interesting.
That's right.
Show 151, according to BTC.
Probably.
A definite maybe on show 151.
Orphan's birthday.
This is an amazing intro. Mike's not here, in case you didn't know. He's battling the elites. He's down at Pickwick. Just got done for. He's going to be taking on Pickwick, and he's going to be here in just a little while. He's going to be zooming in with Matty Wong. Hopefully, we've got some signal down there. We're a little bit worried that they might not have the best signal in the world, but we're looking forward to talking to them. And we are having the man on, Mark Jefferies, tonight. The man that's behind Ike Live, started it all, been at the forefront of most of the cutting-edge things that are happening on the way people cover bass fishing and talk about it. He's the man. So I look forward to talking to him. We're going to be learning about, what he thinks the state of the sport is, where it's going, where it's been, and dive into some other controversial things. We've got a few controversial topics to talk about tonight in the fishing world, rules and regulations. Some interesting things, I think, that have come to light recently, and we're going to be hashing them out. Look forward to
blow the doors off.
Blow the door. Look forward to hearing what you guys think about all that stuff.
Is that in the notes?
No. That's it. Well, I'm recalling it from our text chain. Miss Rebecca, I've never hosted with you. It's good.
Yeah, we did many
did.
ago. Back when we were in
gosh.
the basement and we were in those weird leather chairs.
I was so nervous, I don't remember.
Now you don't care.
I blacked it all
Now
out.
we're just over it.
Well, it's nice.
Not over it in a bad way, but like over the fear of.
Right.
Right.
Yep. It's a little bit looser, a little bit easier to do, and that's cool. And it's great to have you with us. And we're all kind of here. We got the Bras is here. Good to have you. BTC. Mike's going to be in studio. Like the original, the OGs are all in studio tonight.
And, of course,
That just means because you're back. You're excited that you're back because we've actually been here the last couple months,
I
haven't we?
haven't seen Pete since football season.
I know.
Come on, it's still springtime. I only had to miss a couple.
We have Jake here, but
No.
we have a special guest in studio for the
Yes.
first time ever. We always see his face via camera, but we have Powerbait Paul here in studio this evening.
PBP. Yes.
What's going on, guys? It's pretty cool to be here. It's definitely an honor.
On the water correspondent.
Yep.
It's good to have you in studio, Paul.
It's good to be here.
What do you think? Is this your first time actually physically seeing the studio?
Yeah.
Is it bigger or smaller or weirder than you thought it would be?
It's definitely bigger, definitely more spacious than I thought, and Ike's definitely got a nice fish mount behind us over here.
Yeah.
I was like, man, that's a nice collection there.
Do you have a fish mount?
I have two. I have my first 5-pound largemouth bass I got mounted from when I was fishing way back, back in the day with my dad, and my first pickerel over 21 inches.
Oh, no kidding.
You know, the classic South Jersey combo: largemouth bass, Jane pickerel. You know,
21-inch pickerel. That's got to be a big fish.
it was. I've caught bigger since then, but it was pretty exciting at the time.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's really cool because you're from right here nearby in the studio. And as I was driving to the studio, driving by Lake X, I saw one of the coolest things. I saw a grandpop with 3 young boys, and they all 3 of them. He was rigging rods. You know how it goes. You don't get the fish when you're grandpop, you know. And he's got 2 boys out. He's working on the 3rd boy's rod, and they're all out fishing tonight. I thought that was pretty cool.
That is
Yeah,
cool.
I saw them too.
bet.
Cursing up a storm.
Oh, yeah.
Get out of the trees! I told you not to cast over there.
So, Paul, what were some of your other impressions? Because you went from a viewer of Mike's material to being someone quasi on the inside. So you met Brian for the first time. You fished a tournament
Fished with him, yeah.
Bring me into your mind. What are you thinking when you met him for the first time?
Well, when I met who? Brian? Brian?
I thought we'd get to this. I knew we'd get to this. I just didn't know we'd get right to it. Let's just get right to where it was going.
All right. For one
We're
thing,
on page 3, Dave, now.
the first time I met him was actually when I saw Ike catch that 7-pounder at that lake last year.
Unnamed lake.
Yeah, on Lake XYZ, But at the time, I didn't even know Brian. Brian
he
was
acted like I wasn't even.
Brian
there.
was just the man taking the picture of me and Ike. But now
he was the ballast in the boat.
That's amazing.
I'm like,
like-
and then
like
he
didn't see me or
and then
anything.
he gave me crap about it too during our tournament. I'm like, nowadays. This year you've became one of the people I look up to the most in the bass fishing
That's
world.
not just a
you
height
and
joke
Mike.
because I'm tall. I know.
Oh, you're going there, huh?
I said I'm tall.
Oh man, but yeah, and then he gave me crap like, oh yeah, you're the guy just taking the picture. Here, dude, random dude, take a picture of me and Mike. Yeah, thanks.
It took a while. I had to follow him. Took a while before he followed me back on Instagram. But
Hey, but now here we are.
yeah, that's right.
And you got to spend the day together. I mean, that changes everything.
Yeah.
Yes, tell us how much of an honor that was.
That was pretty fun, It was not bad for my first tournament ever, and Brian the Carpenter was my tournament partner,
With only one arm.
Where did you guys fish?
Union
Okay.
Union Lake, Millville.
Slay Nation tournament on Union. Yeah.
That's a hard place to do one arm because everything's a bomb cast.
Yeah. Well, I used my arm.
Yeah.
It was what it was. But yeah, it was. We had a good day, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell them about it, Paul.
Well, so Brian was trying to listen to some advice from GDP, Greg DePalma, when you know what I mean, and he went over to this certain area that Greg was telling him he was catching them, and I mean he caught a few good ones,
I put 3 in the boat.
Yeah, he put 3 bass in the boat. Nothing big.
That's a success, though, dude.
Yeah,
It's
true.
angling in New
True.
Jersey.
But I was looking for a kicker, you know what I mean? I was looking for a big one. And then I'm like, you know what? We got to find the lily pads. We got to find where that grass sticks up out of the water. That's where we'll find the big ones. And within minutes
First cast.
of pulling up there, I throw my red shad Berkeley power worm, what I'm famous for, bam, giant. Well, not a giant, but a good one.
It was a
First
good one.
kicker. The
Yeah.
first kicker.
Yeah.
Probably close to 4 pounds, 18 inches. And then
Dang.
not long after that, Brian got one that was like 19 and a half. Put 2 kickers in the boat. After I told Brian, let's find this certain area, and
Because Brian can get
I was
off
right.
track. You had
yeah,
to dial
he can.
him in.
He can.
I
Yeah,
understand.
I appreciate you
sure.
looking out for me.
You're welcome.
Brian, walk us through his 4-pounder.
He was very excited, as you would expect. I don't have his energy or Mike's. He's a lot like Mike.
Yeah.
And I was just like, relax. He's reeling it
I'm
in real fast.
trying
I'm like,
to keep
Paul,
it tight.
slow down, take it easy.
Is he a
We'll
spinning
get her.
tackle, bait cast tackle?
Spin around.
Spinning.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're at the the biggest community hole on Union,
Yeah.
right there at the old Osprey Nest.
Yeah.
And so it was foggy. We blasted out to the first spot. I hadn't been there in 5-6 weeks or whatever, so it hit Greg up, and he fishes all the time. He's like, yeah, circled a couple spots on the map. I said, all right, I'm gonna start there. We started there. It was, like I said, it was foggy. Couldn't see anything. Fog cleared, and there was 8, 9 boats all in that spot, that area. I'm like, All right, them guys all pre-fish. That's where it must be going down. So I did stick a little bit too long in that original area because I went in and got a good bite, and I knew there were more fish there. I thought we'd get a few more bites, but at Paul's behest, we made our way over there, and first cast he caught that good one. So
is he like, net?
Yeah,
Get
exactly.
the freaking net.
Yeah.
Is that what was going on?
Oh man.
So you knew right away you had a gorilla.
Yeah,
and
it's pull and drag, and he's reeling at the same time. Oh, hold on. Don't
Well, that's
do
because I knew
right.
I knew it wasn't no 5-pounder. You know what I mean? But I knew I had to keep it tight.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Well. All right. It's in the net. It's in the boat. Are we like high-fiving, belly bumping?
Basically,
What's going on?
Brian is trying to shut me up from screaming too
'cause
loud,
you're
like Ike, because
tracking
it's in a
too much-
tournament, and
Yeah.
being like Ike, I would have had the similar reaction as Ike, and he's all like, "Shh." I'm like, "Yeah."
No guardrails in sight.
Being like completely Scottish in war mode doesn't help either.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know it.
Did you? He was going Braveheart.
Did you wear a kilt for the event?
I don't even know what a kilt.
He always had a little like dagger in his sock, right?
Oh man.
That should be the uniform, man. A
We're
kilt with a tournament jersey.
And a dagger.
Dude,
Money.
and a dagger. Or at least braid scissors or something.
I think it's fascinating that
I like
that
this.
I got the visual.
PvP.
I see you.
I think that PvP and BTC called GDP for Intel.
Oh, God.
That's a lot of ABC, dude.
Jeez.
Wow.
Paul, you got the nickname Powerbait Paul, which is PvP, but you also have Guardrail Guardian. What was it like not catching a fish inside of a guardrail?
Uncharted territory. It was like going into outer space.
That's awesome.
Guardrail Guardian. Is that like a bank angler crack?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
every
yeah,
picture
well-
he puts on Instagram, it's not a crack.
He's got a
It's
guardrail?
fat. Everyone's got
It's
a
true.
guardrail.
It's true. There's a lot of the lakes that I catch big fish from, and all my selfies are always guardrails along the road. It is what it is. They're honey holes to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to start doing some trespassing, getting to the other spots.
Oh, that's what
okay.
we should encourage you
Okay.
to do.
Yeah, got to level
I'll
up.
call you when I get put in jail because of that.
They don't put you in
don't get
jail.
put in jail, Paul. And as soon as Instagram is liberated from the deep state, I'll get back on and I'll look at some of your posts.
Oh, God.
Okay. Interesting.
Speaking of trespassing, I took David and his friends trespassing in some water about a week ago. I ran into one of your buddies. Remember the guy who used to insist we listen to his alarm beep in the background, the fire alarm? What's his name?
Oh, Wayne.
Wayne.
Yeah.
Wayne
Mars.
Yeah, I ran into Wayne. I'm taking David and his buddies.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he told me that. That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, let's take the kids trespassing.
Trespass fishing.
Well, we were trespassing at someplace else before we seen him at Stella's. We actually bailed from the trespass and went to some community.
And when you were done, did you like do a smash and grab and then head to the house?
Nah. I just was telling them like they don't know how to trespass properly. They're yelling across the lake. They got the one guy who. It's just like every other friend group. You got the clown. You got the serious guy. They're yelling. They're swimming. I'm like, come on, guys. Like this isn't how you sneak onto a lake. I had to get them all together and bring them in. Like, look, man.
Kids these days just don't know how to trespass
That ain't
anymore.
how you do it, guys.
Rallying the troops.
You only get in the water to hide.
That's right.
Dude, me and Steve McCourt did that at Hulawassa.
Did you?
Yeah, man.
Would you have like a straw? What do you
No,
mean you
dude.
hid?
Like we went out there to fish at nighttime with like jitterbugs and poppers, and the camp council. I don't know. Somebody like shined a spotlight, and we were under. We went under the water to avoid. Steve, I don't know, man. But no, true story. We did. We
That's awesome.
actually hid to avoid the spotlights on Hulawassa.
I've never been there.
Oh, dude.
I've heard you talk about it.
It's still amazing. I imagine.
bet.
It's still private property, so it's got to be banging.
That's right.
I snuck on there a couple years back, and on the furthest one closest to the White Horse Pike, Route 30, you can like get in, and there's not as many people driving by, but it's still like.
I haven't done much trespassing lately. I just don't have it in me to deal with if it comes.
I don't know why I like it. I find it fun. I find it fun to be someplace that I'm not supposed to be because it's.
Well, we all do.
Dave, what are you saying about your life?
No,
You need that excitement.
No, Brian made the best point ever. He said all these lakes exist before people. Some of them. Then people put houses around them and fences and signs and say you're not allowed to be here. And it's like I don't know.
Screw that.
I don't like that, dude. Like
Nah.
I love being there.
Long hair, freaky people.
Yep.
need
Yes, man.
Alloway Lake.
Size, yeah. The lake we're on right now. You're sitting next to one of those people, Dave.
The elite.
Now listen, I have a comment I want to make about a private lake. Have you guys seen The Rock's posts when he fishes?
Yeah.
It annoys me. I really like The Rock, but I need to get this off my chest.
I used to.
It annoys me because he talks like he's some amazing angler because he just pulled this 4-pounder out of a stocked lake.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're fed.
And their bellies are like this big.
Yeah.
It's his pond.
It's the only bait they see is his.
Yep.
So it's annoying to me that he's like, yeah, because it's so easy, and you know what I mean? Like does the
He's
whole
got an
rock
arrogance
thing,
about
and
it?
Yeah.
and I'm like, it's not hard.
It's just like out here. Just one guy.
Now,
It annoys me. That's all I have to say. Does it annoy anyone
And you know,
else, or is it
they're
just do I have
small. They're
feelings about
small.
this?
They look like small farm ponds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The big bass are stacked in there. You know, it's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah.
Well, he rolled over on Rogan, so he's dead in my book.
what do you mean?
The Rock?
What do you do?
We'll talk about that one afterwards.
Yeah, remember what I said I want to talk to you about because I'm going to forget.
All right, but listen, I'm going to go to a wholesome fishing tournament that
Yes.
Brian can speak to. So the Ike Foundation this year decided that we should have a kids fishing tournament series. And the focus was to get kids who don't have boats or the means to get on a boat, have a bunch of volunteers to captain and get these kids on boats.
Awesome.
Now, we did have a bunch of parents who had boats and they were there, and then we'd partner up a kid who never, fished on a boat before. But Brian had 2 kids who I believe had never fished off of a boat before. Now, the one kid I know was like a major fish head, like the kid, just avid angler. But I don't think, was that your boat, Bri, that the kids had never been on a boat before fishing? They'd only ever bank fished?
No, that was Paul. Our guest is sitting two to your left.
I've fished from
You're
a
right.
boat before.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Your guess.
No.
Couple times.
There was
Talking about the youth derby.
the youth derby.
They know about you.
The
Well, I know
weekend.
Had your kids
I
been
know
on a boat
Nathan
before?
had been on a boat because Nathan was he's 13 years old. He could fish. Like he was really good. He had casting rods and he was firing.
It might have been someone else's boat that I was
Caleb
talking
was a little
to.
bit newer to it.
The one kid taught himself during COVID. So his parents didn't know anything about fishing. He taught himself. So the mom was super excited because he's just been an avid angler since, and then he got his first experience on a boat. So there was some really cool
Well, hold
stories
on,
like
'cause
that.
Here's some of the details that we always gloss over when we talk about these things. So the mom showed up with the kid to this event
Yeah.
and then was talking to you during the event, explaining
Yeah.
how he learned how to fish.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah,
No
I mean,
one
some
else
of
is
these
doing
parents,
that.
they clearly taught their kid.
Yeah.
I had another mom, so we offered a scholarship opportunity as well. So if there were kids that wanted to be a part of the tournament series, but had no one to teach them how to fish, had no fishing equipment, they could apply for a scholarship to be outfitted. So we had one kid who did it. And he and his mom were so excited. I mean, he had fished a little bit, I think, with like a grandfather or an uncle, but he had no equipment of his own. Like they didn't. She's like, I don't know where to even start or to go get him stuff. So we outfitted him. He did great. He caught. He was with your dad,
Yep.
Jake.
Yeah.
He's caught his first frogfish.
Yeah, he caught his first frogfish.
Yeah.
That's an experience.
Super cool. He had fun. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Did,
it was.
did he catch it by the books though, Jake? Did you have him down and then set the hook? Or
So
was it?
my dad was with him, but he said that basically like he knew that the kid didn't have we'll call it like tournament skills. Like he hadn't been involved a lot.
Yeah.
He was trying to get him like help him skip and stuff like that. And they got near some pads. My dad's like, oh, I know they're in there.
Okay.
And basically like he tried to help the kid out and get him to tie it on a rod, but he didn't have braid and stuff like that. So they just put it on one with like 12 pound, kept him near the edges. It was like isolated stuff, and he had it right on the isolated spot where it's supposed to be. Ate it, and kid set the hook and just went for the reel.
That fish ate the frog. That was the third cast. Third time it ate it is when he hooked it.
Yep.
So it was meant to be.
You never forget that.
That fish
He'll
was
never
sent
forget
from,
that.
And that
from
kid,
a higher
that-
power for that
more
kid.
importantly,
that
that
day.
kid is hooked more than that fish,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
That's it. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I wish I came. I didn't know it was gonna be that cool.
Yeah. So it was
There's
fun.
two
It was
more,
a
Dave.
hot. Yeah, there's 2 more. There's still 2 more. We got a super hot day, but we survived. We all survived, right, Bri?
Oh yeah, I gotta be honest. Like, I mean, you think about doing like volunteer stuff. I mean, let's be real, people. You know, who says, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to volunteer," you know? But I was always like, I got to volunteer for something. But I was looking forward to it, but I didn't realize how much I was going to enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like I needed to do it, but I also really enjoyed it, and like, I can't wait to do it again. Honestly,
Cool.
Well, because you're out there with kids highly motivated, right? Like, it's awesome to coach people.
Not necessarily.
You don't think they're like the kids?
Some are.
Really?
Some are more motivated than others. You know, it's also being on a lake and not really being able to fish. You know, that's always a challenge.
Yeah, you're a little more alert.
You're like,
Yeah, I don't know.
Just to the left, a little further to the left. Keep trying. And
But don't you think,
it's
Bri, because
tricky.
I think it is tough to be on a boat because I've captained with Vegas and you're sitting there for hours. And I'm telling you, there's moments where it can be like, oh my gosh, this is boring. But I think it's overridden by the fact that I'm constantly cheering for him.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
you're cheering for those kids.
Yeah.
Like you're so invested in them catching at least one fish that you're like, come on, cast right there. Do it again. Do it again. Like stop it, you know?
Yeah.
Because with our tournament series, the captains can help. They can say, I think you need to, you know, try this bait or cast over there, or you can help as much as you want. The whole point is for them to learn. So this isn't like a regular BASS event where they're like, you know, you can't tell the kids anything. The kids have to figure it out themselves. No, this is fun and they need to learn, you know?
I like that.
So we did. We had a great time. There's another one in July. That one will be down in Delaware at Lum's Pond. And then September, we head to Union.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's awesome that you're doing it. I did a lot of work with the Federation when they had the youth tournaments, and they would have youth championships, and it was just so awesome. It was so much fun. Yeah. It's great that you guys are picking up the baton and just doing something cool.
Yeah. Thanks, Pete. Yeah. And we do shortened days. Like,
how short?
So this one, we had everyone ready and on boats. So we said we would launch at 7. I think we were on the water by 6:40. Everyone took off.
Wow.
And then we brought in the younger age group at noon and the high schoolers at 1. But the next one, because the sun was up by like 5:30, I just hadn't even thought about it. We'll probably launch, like do 6 to 11, you know, just get them out there for that early bite. And then, so I mean, we do a short day.
I love the shortened day because I know my son's, he's into fishing, but an 8-hour tournament is a long day.
It's a long day.
It really is.
It's a long day for us. Let alone somebody don't want to be there as a hostage.
Yeah, because Vegas fishes them, and I've noticed mentally he's shot by noon.
Yeah.
Like noon, anything after noon, we might as well just like drive around in circles with the torpedo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shit,
it's like,
I'm shot by 9 if it's not good.
It's true.
Even if it's good, like they're just tired, you know? It's a lot.
Yeah. I'm shot by breakfast, man. I don't know.
Sounds. No, it was awesome. So Nathan, he kayak fishes with his dad, and they fish your kayak, the Ike Foundation kayak tournament.
Yep.
Nathan was one of the guys you had in your boat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Nathan and Caleb.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but that was his first boat tournament.
Yeah. So the foundation's got a lot going on. So the Pro-Am is next Sunday. Whoop. So if anyone has not signed up yet, please hurry up and do that to make our lives easier. Yeah. It doesn't matter when you sign up because we do a random boat draw. So you could be the last guy to sign up and the first boat out. Just sign up.
Don't matter if you're on fish. It's changing every day. You're going to find them out during the tournament. So don't wait until you get on the fish to sign up for the tournament. Just get signed up. It makes the tournament go much smoother.
Who are you fishing with, Pete?
James Riley.
Okay.
The designer of the Bass U logo.
Jake, are you helping on the docks, or are you fishing?
Yeah, I'll be on the docks. And make sure that you're there 10 minutes before the check-in time so that Pete has an easy ride down to the ramp. It's wide open for him, so you can just drop right in and get out of the way.
I greatly appreciate that.
Brian, you getting on the water?
I'm with Sully.
Okay.
Again,
Yeah. And don't forget, I know it's a $300 entry for 2 people on the boat, but all that, this is our fundraiser. This is our biggest fundraiser of the year. This is how we support the groups all over the country with rods and reels and tackle equipment. So yes, you could win a bass cat boat with a Yamaha motor on the back. There's tons of other great prizes, but your money's not going to nothing. Like, it's not wasted. Sure. It's a charitable donation of $300.
Let me ask you: is the kayak power pole in play for anybody if they, or is that just for the kayak event?
Just for the kayak event.
Because I was going to bring cash to offer the guy right there on the spot because I need a second power pole.
I have to tell you, the kayak event is filling up fast, and
Yeah.
that event's not even until September.
Yeah,
we
I
we
bet.
hadn't even announced that we'd opened it. It like just went live on Tourney X, and there. Like I looked and there was already like 15 signed up, and we hadn't even had a chance like 2 hours later to put the post up on
huge.
social media.
Like, my neighbor is a dude that he was an engineer who designed helicopters for Boeing. He retired, and then instantly, like during the lockdown, him and his son got involved in kayak fishing, and before you knew it, he had like a trailer with not just like PVC. He because he's an engineer, it's like this beautiful double-decker trailer with like kayaks, and he's towing it around. Like they're fishing constantly, man. It has exploded.
They had a kayak event on the Upper Chesapeake recently, and I was out. They're miles out.
Dude,
they're miles out. I'm seeing the kayak guys with torpedoes.
They
even
get there
the paddlers are they're getting
crazy.
up early and paddling 2 miles offshore.
Because they can be on spot at the start of the whistle, so they can get out. They can get out 2 a.m. if they want to. If they're crazy enough.
Camping out on the islands or doing whatever they do.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
You know,
Bunch of hippies.
Hippies, I don't know, man.
Well, speaking of
That
hippies,
scares me on the Chesapeake though, being in a kayak with the way people are boating around there.
not to mention if the wind kicks up.
Yeah.
That wind can kick up and put
I don't worry
2 to
about
3
the wind. I
footers
worry
out
about
there.
getting killed by guys in saltwater boats. Drunk.
Yeah.
That's a
In the
valid.
Donzie.
That's a very valid concern. I've almost been run
I've been
over
killed
a
plenty
bunch
of times out there,
on-
dude.
you've been
my
killed
boat.
many times.
Yeah, in other lives, because I felt it happen.
Yes.
Oh wow.
Do we have Ike in the wings? What do we got going on?
Not yet.
I just looked at my.
Oh, he just called me.
Okay.
Hold on, Dave.
Does he have the?
Speaking of saltwater boats and kayaks, I did just get a 15-foot saltwater, like a skiff, and I was kind of looking for spots to take it out. And I'm like, I don't know, waves and tide. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I really want to go out that far. Next thing you know, I see a dude out there in a 10-foot kayak. I'm like, I guess I'm good.
Yeah.
If he's out there, I'm out there.
I know it. It's you're finding that they're expanding and expanding.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to be cautious. Heck, you got to be cautious as any boater, going out on big water like that and monitor the weather tremendously. But I really do think the biggest concern is being seen by boaters. I mean, I saw there's some classic social videos of like a cabin cruiser running over a fishing boat.
Yeah.
They're in a regular boat that's got probably 2 foot of gunnel, and they weren't seen. They were plowed right over.
That's scary.
If the kayak doesn't have one of those flags on it, I mean, a 2-foot wave hides a kayak real well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even that little flag, if you
Yeah.
don't have enough wind, that thing.
Heck yeah, and if you're going 70 miles an hour in your boat, I mean that little bitty flag, it's you can't
scares
you
me.
can't see that well, but
Beck, what was up with Mike?
I don't know.
I almost recommend for kayak anglers in the Chesapeake, carry like a little signal mirror, and if there's someone that looks like they're not, zap them in the eyes with the signal mirror if you have sunlight. You know what I mean?
Or like
Get
a
an air
campfire.
Yeah. A flare, shoot a flare gun.
Yeah. Smoke signal.
Nah, I know the kayak guys are like, shut up, but
no, but I bold. I thought bold as hell, man, being out there and going for it like that.
no, they get after it.
Yeah,
I like it.
That's pretty
This
cool
is the
stuff.
This is the all day wheat ale.
Yes.
Is that our founders of the day, the Green Zebra?
Oh wow!
Yeah, look at this cool box they sent
Yeah, I don't
us.
know about
Hold
that,
on.
but hold
I
on.
think they stole the beer out, but I want to show everyone this really
I did because
super fly box.
we was light on beers up
Oh
here.
wait, hold on, it's
Wow,
really
have
tricky to
you had the
open.
wheat ale yet?
Oh, yeah.
This would drain well during a hot summer day.
Is that also called the
we have
all-day
right
vacay?
That's
Yeah, all day vacay.
Yeah, it's just
I don't go by like the corporate name. I go by actually what the brewer calls it, and the brewer calls it the session wheat ale. Right? Saison.
that's all.
By the way, we have a Facebook like and share
Good call.
contest going on
That's
right now. So
Are you having the 4th of
like
July
it,
party this
share
year?
it, and we will
Oh,
put
yeah.
you
Oh, that-
in a.
this-
Can you
this
grab
is
that
for that.
bag for me?
Yes, sir.
PBP.
God, he's
Don't throw your
calling.
back
Awesome.
out.
Thank you, man.
Yep.
We'll put you in a contest to win one of these great Ike Live gift packs with a bunch of stuff in it. Mike always says this weighs about 10 or 20 pounds. Now that I'm holding it, I'm saying it's 7.5.
Yeah, that's.
Oh man, dude.
Let me see it.
It depends them.
Yeah, he's exaggerating.
We've never seen him exaggerate on the weight of things before.
Never.
But all kinds of good stuff. We got a mystery tackle box in here. I see all kinds of gear. It looks like maybe a T-shirt and a face shield. There's a TW hat. All kinds of great stuff. So if you're watching over on Facebook, make sure you like and share, and we will enter you into a contest to randomly win that prize.
All over it.
And speaking of mystery tackle box, which I just announced, they've got a special going on right now, and it's, what is it, buy two and get one free. Get the third one free on your mystery tackle box right now. So get on over, get yourself subscribed. It's so much fun. We've had the subscription for a while now. Me and my son still fight over who gets the good stuff out of the mystery tackle box. You're going to love it. Take advantage of the cool promotion right now. You get your third box free.
But
Very,
especially
very cool
for
stuff.
new anglers, it will give you an advantage over the old heads because you will fish with things that other people have written off. You will fish with things people have forgotten catch fish.
No doubt.
You know?
There's still a crankbait that I got through Mystery Tackle Box that I had a lot of success. I scored some checks on that bait. I would have never picked it. I would have never picked that color. And that's for me, that I've been fishing for so long. I try to keep it simple.
That's right. Pete invented fishing.
I try to keep the colors very simplistic, so I don't go off the deep end on colors as my chops continue to get busted here. But I because of the mystery tackle box, I use colors that I would have never ever purchased, never tried, and I'm diving into those crawl patterns a lot, and that all comes from mystery tackle box. Like now Rapala makes the Brat. And just absolutely unloaded. We were filming for Bash U, and it's a green crawl with like a chartreuse tail. And it's a color that would never make it into my simple system. They couldn't stay. They were choking it, absolutely choking that bait. So, and I get that color exploration by getting that box.
I have for anyone who is going to be new to getting an MTB box, I have one piece of advice, and that's keep the product card, and I'll tell you why. I had a spinnerbait from them. Don't know who it came from because I threw everything out. And my son and I were camping last year up on Faro Lake up in upstate New York, up in the Adirondacks, and I was killing them. And, of course, you want to see your son catch him. I gave it to him. Within about 10 casts, a pike cleaned it off the line. Don't know what it came from. Don't know what the blade was. It had a really thin gauge. It was a really thin gauge, man. Like one of the thinner gauges I've ever seen on a bait. So it was lighter, so it was able to get down in the column a lot better. And I don't know. I don't know where it came. If I had the card, I would have known who it was. I could have got more, man.
Right.
Keep the card, you know.
And the thing about Mystery Tackle Box is each month you get it, they select baits that will work that particular month. You know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be getting top waters for December. You're going to be getting jerk baits. You know what I mean?
Very cool.
And that's another thing that really helps out the newer anglers.
Natural born salesman.
Very, 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 very good. Check it out.
Power bait Paul.
After you get your first two boxes, you get your third one free. Great deal, great opportunity. Get over there to Mystery Tackle Box.
Pete, I got a question for you. We're talking about your early days of fishing. Take out technology, take out the new bait instead of the old bait. Like, we'll just go a crankbait, a spinner bait. Are you still fishing the same spot you were 30 years ago the same way, or are you changing your techniques now? Like, and pick a spot, pick a lake, you know. Are you still fishing it the same, or are you changing?
A lot has changed and morphed in the way that I fish and try to compete these days. Like, when I was younger,
it was more volcanic rock, things like that,
right?
Than grasses.
You had meteor splashes to worry about.
I still only throw soft plastics, Pete.
Well, I didn't know what my specialties were, so I was trying to be KVD, and that's how I jumped into it, trying to be Kevin. And after I fished with Kevin, I drew him out in the tournament.
Be him or beat him?
Be him. I wanted to fish just like him because for he had already been there before I got there for maybe 10 years and was dominating everything. So he was the guy that everybody was trying to pattern their fishing after. But then when I spent the day in the boat with him, and I wished I was fortunate enough to do it earlier, because I'm like, I can't do what that dude does. Like, he fished differently than I do, thinks differently about it. Yeah. Anyway, years of doing this, I figured out my strengths. When I win tournaments or get in the top, I didn't realize there's a flipping stick in my hand. I didn't know that. I didn't know that that's in my wheelhouse and a strength of mine. I thought I was a crankbait guy. I thought that's where my strengths were. But until I went back and looked at results, I'm like, crankbait hardly shows up.
Yeah.
I mean, at the top, I might get checks on it, but when I'm at the top, man, it's a flipping stick in my hand. So now I look for that bite.
Okay.
So it's changed. Instead of just looking for what's the best bite on a particular lake, I look for the flipping bite. I try to find the pattern that fits my wheelhouse, and I can get in more success that way. So that's what's changed for me. But first thing you got to do in order to get there is you got to fish professional tournaments for 30 years. Once you do that, get that done, then you can go back and try to identify, But no, honestly, you can do. I talk to my students all the time, like, look at your successes. You might be surprised at what you're really good at. You might think you're a good topwater guy, but really maybe it's a chatterbait that is your wheelhouse.
Or a power worm.
Or a stick bait.
Black Senko.
So you wouldn't use you wouldn't use the electronics. You're just going to the bank, because his question was, how would you, with all the technology, approach a spot versus how you would have originally?
Well, the technology is phenomenal. Humminbird 360, oh my gosh, it's a shallow waters fisherman's dream. Being able to see like you see the log coming off the bank, I can see the tip of the log. I can see fish on the tip of the log.
Dang.
Where I wouldn't even, I'd have to like fan cast all the way out and never even hit it before.
I didn't even know they had that shit.
You can see isolated clumps of grass, brush piles.
Dave, it's
forward
like
facing is the deal.
It's a sonar that's it's incredible, dude.
Dang.
It just keeps scrolling around and showing you exactly.
So it's like having infrared when you're squatching.
That's right.
All right, dude.
It's like playing a video game.
It's like 360.
Wow.
Squatching
changes it all, dude.
What's that? That's a verb? it's squatching?
Looking for Sasquatch.
Yeah.
Every time we see a tree like snapped way up high, we're like, oh, we got to take a picture of this for Dave.
That's all right.
Even the kids say it now, too. They're like, oh. Take a picture.
I will take you and your non-believer kids, and I will bring you to a place where I know they live.
I didn't say we're non-believers.
Oh, all right. It will change everything. And you will not.
I believe in anything. I
me.
believe that there could be a unicorn somewhere on this planet.
Just remember, I mocked Brian and his boat build, and look how it turned out. All right.
That's how you know none of this is real.
That's how you know Sasquatch is real.
That's right.
It was all in the builder.
Shout out to his dad.
Dad.
Big Dave.
Hey, shout out to Dave. I got a chance to fish with your dad, and that was awesome.
Did he bring sandwiches?
Yeah, he brought some stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. Right. But he won at the Ike Foundation. I donated a day on the water, and he won that, and it was really cool. Known him for a long time, and never was able to. We never fished together. So
where'd you take him?
We went out on the Chesapeake.
To go to Newton or something.
Best part about the whole giveaway is they do the Ike Foundation live, and we talk about it here. And I said, Pete, did you take the guy that you won last year with? He goes, and then the giveaway comes up, and I'm watching the live, and Dave Haas wins. I said, oh, man, that sucks because last year's winner didn't go out. I said, there goes this year's. I said, text them now.
Yeah, you got about a 50-50 shot.
There's maybe like 3 people I'd want to be in the Chesapeake with, and you're one of them.
Oh man, that's very generous.
Me too. I'm getting lying. I'm still waiting.
Hey, we had a moment. Speaking of technology, where I got to put the Raptors down. Like you get in these situations, and it's influenced by Livesey, who is just winning by having his poles in the dirt.
That's how you say his last name, Livesey.
Livesey. And
what were you going with?
I just Livesey, like
Lavasi.
Yeah,
that's how I say it. I don't know. I hope I'm saying it right.
No, if you want something slaughtered, ask Jocelyn. Jocelyn slaughters everyone's name. It's awesome.
That's funny. Well,
Ike's pretty bad.
Well, he's doing it with spot lock. He's doing it putting the poles in the mud and just fishing that way and winning big at a really, So we got a chance to do that. We got a few bites, and we were able to pole down, and we unloaded on 3.5 to 4.5 pounders for about an hour.
Wow,
that was pretty cool.
Sounds awful.
Yeah.
Why? Why did that happen though?
Well, we were in a really good place where we were picking off post-spawn fish that were getting funneled into the area. I've caught them in this area before.
So you're in one of those little 1.5 foot trenches.
Yeah, and we were able to. Yeah, the fish come to you, and that's what Lee's doing. He's finding them little sweet spots, and it's really interesting because in a tournament where it's so competitive, we saw GDP and Swindle bump heads at a spot. If you find 5 spots with that much talent and who's good
GDP?
sonar,
Who's GDP?
Greg Palmer.
Greg Palmer.
But you're not going to be able to fish them all. You got 5 spots in a big tournament with talent in it. You're lucky to get 1 or 2 that you're going to be able to fish because the other 3 are gone. They're going to be taken. So the strategy of if you're able to get one of your juicy juice spots, if it can be one of those kind that you can stay, fish through different light phases, through different winds or tide cycles or current on a reservoir, if you're confident enough where it'll bring fish to you, then it's almost a better strategy than running around. Because if you leave your spot, you ain't getting on the next spot because Ike's going to be there, Swindle's going to be on that one. They're all going to be covered up.
So what? Greg and Gerald got into it?
Yeah, they had my understanding of it is that I think GDP fished there early, and then Gerald's fished there late. On day one. They didn't run into each other on day one.
Yeah.
So they both wanted to start there on day 2.
Okay.
So
it's like 3 weight classes separating the two of them.
And Greg's like, as they're going through the trees and they're idling, he's like, shit, he's on it, And Gerald, I'm sure, is saying the same thing. So Greg's like, well, I guess we're going to have to share it. Gerald says, the hell we are.
What's he going to do, duel him? So
they pretty much did.
Joust him?
I mean, it was a small, it's a high spot, a rough spot in the trees, shell bar.
Yeah.
And, they caught each other's line twice.
Oh, no.
Gerald had the camera in his boat because I think he was 3rd or he was up there.
And where was Greg?
He was doing well.
He was good.
He was competitive.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. He got Gerald strong armed him.
Did it make like the what's that bass track? Did it make like the
it was
screen?
live.
It made it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it made the air.
So they were banging?
Yeah, I caught just the end of it. I didn't see the beginning. I caught I saw it on I think TikTok. I saw a clip of it.
Again,
it's on TikTok.
Oh my God, he's all over it.
Yeah.
None of this is real.
It's the only place to be. You can
doing
dump all the others.
you're doing like the Britney dances on TikTok?
Yeah. No, but I like watching them.
No, you don't.
So how did it play out? I mean, how did the
I think
the viewers? What was the viewers' perception?
That's a good question. I did not see the comments about who they thought won, but I think GDP gave way because Gerald was there first, so he, But that was the most impressive thing about what Greg did because he made a nice check at Fork, fishing his backup stuff. Like I was talking about, you're going to lose all your good stuff, so you got to be able to survive spot B, C, and D. Yep. But he did. He got a strong check. I think he got 20+ pounds a day, and made a check in that tournament, never being able to fish where he wanted to.
RUNNOFT, right? What movie?
RUNN. That's Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Damn it, Pete! Outstanding.
Wow.
Mark Jefferies is ready to roll.
That is amazing.
He can't even remember our names half the time, and he pulled that out.
It's outstanding. Good work.
He called him Power Bait Pete, that kid over there.
I had PBP and BTC and GDP. I didn't mess up any of those,
You nailed it, Pete.
letters either.
He's only got one kid and he calls him the wrong name. You know, like you call your kid the other kid's name.
I call him Kiddo because sometimes I forget. You know?
Dave, you're big on the good karma get you somewhere, and I did hear that Lee was kind of giving up his good spot, saying, "Oh, that dude's on the good spot. I was going to go there. That guy's on the spot," and just driving past and letting the guy have it, driving in on people, saying, "Oh, this ain't right. Turn around," and he comes out with the win. I mean, that's good karma if you need it right there. He gave up, like, he said 5 or 6 of his best spots on the lake to other people.
Lee,
Lee, the guy that he lives down there.
Dude,
He's a guide
he's
there.
Just so calm. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It really is.
Wow.
Like his level of just confidence.
I can't trust someone that's that calm.
Well, here's the thing. He's a good actor, and when we interviewed him on BU, he was saying, "I might look calm." He goes, "But I am churning." He goes, "I am burning inside."
He's an operator, man.
Especially because, like, on day 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, he had a 0. He was sitting on a bagel for hours, leading the tournament, going hours without a single bite. And when you watched him, when you listened to him talking live, he was just like, just chill.
I'd like to meet
chill.
him. I'd like to actually meet him and talk to him, you know?
Yeah. He's that way in person. I mean, we've had him out on the boat. I can't say I know him all that well, but he gives that persona. Here's the other thing.
Like, I'd like to be his co-angler on an event where co-anglers are, you know what I mean?
Sure.
I took him and Caleb Summerall shark fishing down in Sea Isle.
Oh, that fiasco? I didn't know he was on that trip.
Yeah.
I don't want to meet that dude now.
He's cool, dude.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Should we take a break and then come back? What do you want to do?
Yeah. As soon as Pete.
Yeah. All right.
Pete's ready.
But he had parties. He had the whole town around Lake Fork every night. His family in. Like, he's competing to win a major tournament, and he's just chilling out.
Crushing bush lights.
Yeah, but we know a guy like that on his wedding day. Wading in the goddamn Richmond River while she's getting dolled up, looking beautiful.
But if it's a tournament,
and he don't even care. But
tournament, no
that's
deal.
Mike's wedding day. He don't even care. He's got us drowning in a river. John McGraw get washed down in the rapids.
3 phones lost their lives that day in the James River.
Yeah, dude.
True story.
That's right, James. I call it Richmond River. Yeah.
Same thing. It was.
But we know that guy.
So remarkable how calm he was on his wedding day. We were stressed out. Like, Mike, we gotta go. We're gonna be late. We gotta get.
How are we gonna do this?
And he was still casting for freaking smallmouth, like that big.
We didn't even know where people were.
No,
dude, we were in the limo. He dropped.
I wish he could be that calm on a tournament.
He dropped us
though.
off at a. We went fishing. We went fishing in
it's,
waders with a limo, and we were missing dudes.
We were.
We were missing Ish and Tom. They didn't know where they
were. It's Mike's world.
No, but he didn't even.
The wedding will wait for me. Like, I have to show up.
He was almost like. Man, who was the guy in Apocalypse Now, played by Robert Duvall? Remember his character just standing there around bombs, like, you know what I mean?
Dude.
Yeah, it wasn't Colonel Kurtz. He was the bad guy.
So impressive.
Yeah,
love the smell of napalm in the morning.
that dude. Yeah, that guy.
All right, let's take a quick break. We've got the godfather of bass fishing, MJ. Right?
Should
we got to
tell
stick
everyone,
with initials, right?
Mike. We didn't tell everyone. Mike and Maddie did try to get on, but the Wi-Fi was not strong enough. They could not get through and stay on Zoom.
Good for them. No
At the
5G
restaurant
cancer.
they went to, or whatever it was.
Yeah, it didn't work. They
Well,
tried.
The Piggly
Hey, guys, we want to wish you guys best of luck this week at Pickwick. I know Maddie got some great stage time. He had some great days.
That didn't mean to
at
keep
Fork.
talking. That was just to let the people know.
Understood. Well, okay.
Why is Maddie Wong still?
All right, we'll be right back.
You know, right now where we're standing, we're in Camden, New Jersey.
Yeah.
Philadelphia is right there. This is the concrete jungle. And, you know, a lot of those kids, as they grow up, they don't fish. It's interesting because they're surrounded by water, you know, the Delaware River, the Schuylkill, ponds, city park lakes, but they don't have the influence to cast, to fish, to have a rod and reel. And that became our focus, you know, is to target kids in what we call non-traditional areas, you know, urban areas, city centers, where the population's high, and let these kids have the experience. You know, it's amazing. I mean, some of the experiences we've had, whether it's Central Park in New York City, here in Camden, other parts of the country, even just casting.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to see it, isn't it?
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Yes.
And you know, you see these kids have this experience they've never had, and they light up, you know? The big thing, I think, for the Ike Foundation is we're not saying we want all these kids to become professional anglers.
No.
Be great if some of them did, but we want them to have that fishing experience because it ties them to so many other positive things. The outdoors, nature, conservation, ecology, all these amazing things in life that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to any other way. We're trying to help with that. So it's important. It's important for us. We're proud of it.
Four and a half inch drop shot worm, Bama bug. Finesse jig, PB&J, give me something hard. Hey, KVD here. Now, I didn't always know this much about fishing. 4-aught EWG worm hook. In fact, there was a time when I couldn't tell the difference between a jerkbait and a stickbait. But then I signed up for Mystery Tackle Box, the original monthly tackle subscription. And now I know more about fishing than I do about calculus.
And he knows a lot about calculus.
Plus, I get amazing extras like free fishing magazines. October 2016. Featured article, 4 places to throw a frog. Exclusive decals. Zombie bass. And how-to videos for all the great baits I receive. How to tune a crankbait. Is that underwater footage I smell?
I got goosebumps.
So if you're looking to develop enhanced fishing abilities like me, or you just like getting new tackle every month, go to mysterytacklebox.com and get your box today. Ooh, live minnows. Is it lunchtime already? Nature's candy. Oh.
At Founders Brewing, we asked ourselves, what if we brewed a beer perfect for any occasion? A beer that makes a weekday feel more like the weekend, and the weekend feel more like an adventure. What if we brewed a beer that brought us together and allowed us to be ourselves? A beer that is just as much of a companion as it is a reward at the end of the journey. What if we explored the unknown together and found a new way? What if we celebrated taste and flavor and life's simple pleasures? And what if we brewed a beer that could go where you go without slowing you down? What if? Founders All Day IPA. Low ABV and full flavor that goes where you go. Chase your what if.
All right, Brian, Torquedo today. We've got the Ike Live tiny boat out. I want to tell you, this is not just for electric-only reservoirs. It's for other things as well. Today is a great example. Where are we? What are we going to take this thing through today?
The Upper Susquehanna.
Upper Susquehanna River.
That's right.
Current, rock,
Lots
nasty bottom,
Yep.
and we're going to use Torquedo.
Everybody else running jet drives. We've got the rock guard on the Torquedo. We're going to some small spots. We're
Yep.
gonna get in there. We're going to make it happen.
There you go.
Let's go.
Shallow water, speed, strength, power. Come on, let's go.
Consistency. And we're back.
Welcome back to Ike Live. We're really excited. One of the guys that we've known forever that really helped get this show up and off the ground, and brought it to the greatness that it is today. is here with us. Really happy to have him. He's the godfather of bass fishing. The way it's covered, so many credentials. Of course, Bass Talk Live, Bass Zone. The first one to bring live coverage of bass fishing. So many firsts. And we're tickled to death to have him with us tonight. From his studio, the great Mark Jefferies. Yeah.
Mark.
Everybody.
We're doing great, man. How you doing?
First of all, Becky, how about this? Everything is working.
It's a miracle.
Everything is working.
So this is what happens. I end up having to call Mark, and I'm like, we have kung fu fighting going on again,
Right.
which basically means the audio and the video are not matching up. If you remember those old kung fu movies, the reference. Yeah. So I'm like, Mark, we got to do this. So I get him on here, and we've got Stella in with us too, so that like somebody could be here talking on the couch, and we're trying to figure it out. Finally, we just had to scrap it and build a whole new Wirecast. Well, I did. Mark had to build a whole new Wirecast in like an hour and a half before the show. So,
it was pressure.
Pressure. Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Pressure. It's like having to catch a 4.5 pounder with a minute left.
Yeah.
You know?
But this is what Mark does. You know what I mean? Like, this is how
No,
he
I'm
saves
retired.
us.
But
I'm retired.
No, don't you lie. You texted me and said, I'm going to retire, but don't worry. I'll always be there if you need help with Ike Live.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
Hey, Mark, you're retired, but you probably feel like Yoda as a special education teacher with these people, right?
No. In fact, this chair that I'm sitting in right now, I have not sat in this chair since December 20th of last year, which was my final show.
Wow.
So it's been a while.
Yeah, it has.
So
I remembered how to press the buttons and everything, though.
That's good. So inquiring minds want to know.
What are you wearing
Are
right
you
now? And why?
Can you see?
Yeah, why are you wearing an apron? What does it say?
Overalls.
It's a Tim Hortons apron. Timmy,
Ah.
the donut shop, coffee shop, and all that.
Oh, all right.
A fan actually sent that to me, 3-4 years ago.
That's pretty.
And
ever
you decide
since
to wear it tonight?
Yeah, that's pretty loyal of you, dude.
No. I have been working feverishly to get new bowling ball equipment drilled because the month of June is kind of why I retired a little bit. So I was drilling while I was waiting for Brian to call me or text me or whatever. I'm actually in the process of drilling a bunch of bowling balls.
Why are you drilling bowling balls?
You're building bowling balls?
Are you going back to be a professional bowler?
Well, that was part of the reason why, because I wanted to try and bowl on the PBA 50 tour, at least try to do this year, at least try to do 3 or 4 stops. So what ended up happening was I ended up finishing 4th in the Oklahoma Senior Masters.
Dang.
And then, in fact, this past weekend, I actually won or earned an entry into the 2022 PBA 50 Senior U.S. Open.
Dang.
In Lubbock, Texas.
Wow.
So
That's amazing.
I'm like knee deep in it. I've been bowling really, really well. I've been spending a lot of time practicing, and I've said this for a zillion years on BTL when I was on there. The two sports are so similar because if you don't spend time on the water, you're not going to catch fish. Well, guess what? If you don't spend time practicing, you're not going to knock down pins. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but no one's ever caught a bass in a bowling alley. All right.
I wouldn't say that, man. You don't know what goes on in some of those late night pot games, you know? Got some crazy stuff going on.
So what's up with drilling your own? I don't understand that part. You just go to the bowling alley and you grab the.
No.
No, you got to have your own ball.
Well, I
want to
hear Mark tell me.
Yeah, you cast it.
Well, no. You have it very similar to fishing. Once again, you have people out there that what do? They pour their own jig heads, right?
Yeah.
They make their own spinner baits. They do all kinds of custom stuff. Well, it's a little different with bowling because obviously manufacturers make bowling balls, but technology has gotten so complicated that it is turned into a game of physics rather than just going to the back of a bowling alley and picking out a ball and going and rolling it down the lane. So actually, this whole thing got started. I didn't know how to put a hole in anything from a bowling ball standpoint. So I got pissed off because I went and I asked the guy, hey, how much is it going to cost me to get this ball punched out? And he goes, $60. And I go, you're out of your freaking mind. I said, I'm not paying $60. So I went on a rant and I just, you know what? I'm going to buy a freaking mill, a milling machine.
For 2,000,
So I
right?
went on
what did that cost?
No, listen, the Cliff Note version is I found a almost brand new mill from a dude in Tulsa, Oklahoma that was from Russia. Okay?
Here we go.
All right? This was on Craigslist. So I called him up
Was his
and
name
I said,
Max?
hey, I said, I'm looking for a mill. Listen, I'm going to drill bowling balls with it. And he was like, yeah, okay. He goes, yeah. He goes, I was using it to build airplane parts for a company here in Tulsa, but the company went out of business and they forgot that I had their mill. So I tried to find the guy. The guy's nowhere to be found. So he said, hey, I'm just going to sell it. I was like, all right. I said, how much is it going to cost me? And he goes, well, brand new, it's $8,000. And I'm like, well, I'm not paying $8,000. I go, you're out of your freaking mind. There's no way. He said, well, what do you be willing to pay? I said, I'll give you $1,000 for it. And he goes, okay, I'll take it. I go, seriously? He goes, yeah, I'll take 1,000. He goes, can you come and pick it up? And I go, no, not really. He goes, listen, my truck, it's got a crane on the back of it. He said, I'll deliver it to you for $200 more. Dang. It's like, deal. So Ivan was his name. Ivan got here, put it right in the corner of my studio. I had the electrical set up, and I was on a quest to figure out how to drill bowling balls in today's game. It's completely changed. Now it's all about physics and angles. And
do bowling balls run out?
No, but yeah, do they wear
like
out?
How often do you have to get a new bowling ball?
All the time.
Why?
So I wish I could take the camera and show you. I mean, I've got 30 bowling balls sitting over there.
So, Mark,
wait, how or why? Why?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Brian.
Yes.
How many rods and reels do you have?
Several. A lot.
All right. Why not just one? I mean, why not?
All right, so you have bowling. They're situational.
They're very situational.
Okay, there's the
Very
7-10 split ball and the break 'em and this, that, and the third.
It's very, very complicated. In fact, I have recently had, I know this is totally boring.
I'm intrigued.
You're like, you're
so
out of your
intrigued.
freaking mind, Jefferies. But listen to this. I actually spent some time talking to a nuclear physicist
Oh, my God.
about bowling.
No, I get it.
No wonder the Taliban hates us.
Because he is probably one of the most intelligent people. He got his PhD from Stanford. Okay? This dude is truly a rocket scientist. But what he did is he dummied down the physics of how a bowling ball should go down the lane based upon how you drill it. So I have recently been using his methodology when it comes to drilling the bowling balls, and people just look at me and laugh at me.
No, I'm not.
I could walk into a pro shop right now where people pay $60 to drill a bowling ball, and I could tell them my theory of what I'm using based upon this guy. They would absolutely laugh me out of the building. It'd be kind of like you going into Bass Pro Shops and saying, hey, you got any zebra-colored spinner baits? Yeah, zebra, black and white stripes. No, I don't want skirts on that. I just want you to put some material on the back of it that looks like it's a zebra. All right?
So, Mark.
Well, how many weird looks would you get from the clerk that you walk up to at Bass Pro Shops or wherever, and you ask him for a zebra spinnerbait?
But
we got a question on the message board from Pat Mangrak, and he wants to know if you're wearing shorts under that apron.
Yes, I am.
So, sure.
So,
no, listen. The reason that I wear the apron, real quick.
All right.
The guy that drilled all my bowling balls in California when I was bowling as a youth, his name was Al Harris. Big Al was the man. I mean, this dude was very, very intelligent. He had an apron. So when I started drilling bowling balls, is respect to Big Al. I decided to drill all my stuff with an apron on. Besides, it protects it because it's really messy.
He was an Eagles D-back, too.
So, Mark, when you're drilling in terms of depth, like is it millimeters, centimeters, inches? What do you do?
Inches.
What is your depth? How many inches?
Well, the finger holes are 2 inches. Thumb hole is 3 inches.
And does it matter in terms of as you approach the ball? It's marbling. Like, are you drilling like when you're looking at the marbling? Is there a specific area you're targeting?
No, it's based upon 2 things in this new theory. And these, dude, we're gonna lose viewers because people are not gonna be
they're gone, dude.
in this. All right,
Don't worry about it.
There's just one critical thing right now, and a lot of people say there's multiple critical things, but in the theory that this nuclear physicist told me, there's one thing, and it's called the pin. Every bowling ball has what is called a pin.
That's the core.
The placement of where you put the holes based upon where the pin is going to determine how the ball is going to go down the lane based upon how you throw it.
What determines the pin, though? Does the
manufacturer? The manufacturer makes it. It's just, I mean, I wish. You want me to go? I don't want to go.
No, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued. I don't care what these
all right,
hooligans.
So
anyway,
Mark's retirement is to become a professional bowler again.
Well, no, that's part of it. Obviously, I'm still teaching, and now it's summer, still coaching basketball. And the big story from a basketball standpoint was, last year I had my accident. I almost died and got metaflighted. After we finally made it to state here in Oklahoma for the first time in the school's history. This year was supposed to be a rebuild year. We lost a bunch of seniors. We only had one senior this year.
That's tough.
And we ended up going back to state.
Dang.
And it was
with underclassmen.
completely surprising to a lot of people, even though we felt that we had not peaked yet, and we got some key players in that had been injured as a result of football. But, man, we went back to state. The school's never been to state back-to-back years.
Wow.
And it's kind of funny. Now we lost one player. Huge expectations for 2022, 2023 with us because we have two studs that are going to be sophomores next year.
And you're the head coach?
Assistant coach.
Dang, dude. You guys underclassmen? That's amazing, dude.
Yeah. Really excited about next year. And it's kind of, I'm the assistant, but it's kind of like co-head coaches because, Coach Jeff Word, I mean, we're two peas in a pod. We're freaking frack. We complement each other so well when it comes to coaching. Our styles are the same. Philosophies are the same. It's kind of like you have two people fishing in the same boat, and you complement each other when you're fishing team tournaments.
But
one guy does this well, the other guy does this well, and we've been very fortunate. So, yeah, I'm retired, and I've ran into people because I have went fishing. That's the other thing that I wanted to do a little bit more. In fact, last Monday at Lake Texoma, I caught my personal best on Lake Texoma on a crankbait, and it was in a 8.7.
Dang.
And it was a monster for Texoma.
Nice.
Monster. And I actually thought I had a striper because I know Pete knows, Lake Texoma is very famous for the amount of stripers that come out of that lake, and you catch them all the time. It doesn't matter if you're flipping or doing whatever. You're going to catch some stripers, but shocked, absolutely shocked. We probably had a 40, 50 fish day. We saw one other boat on the lake, and that is the benefit of being retired and out of school during the summer. You can go to these lakes during the week, and there's nobody on them.
Wow.
Nobody.
How does that feel? Are you used to being retired yet?
I am staying, honestly, Pete, really busy, man. I still am
too busy
involved.
to put on pants.
I am not. I don't think I wore pants to graduation. How about that?
There you go.
But no, I wear shorts every day. Anyway,
like William Wallace over there.
Yeah, I have been. I've helped Matt out behind the scenes. Matt has done a tremendous job putting the show together, and the guests that he's had on the show in the kind of the direction. Because it is a different direction. When I was sitting here and he was sitting on the other side, we butted heads. We disagreed a lot. We tried to make it a little bit more entertaining from the aspect that he was kind of, the young generation, and I was the seasoned, grizzled veteran. And, there was conflict there. And I think sometimes it was very entertaining. But I kind of tagged the line when the show got started. We're going to talk about bass fishing and anything else that Matt and I want to talk about. Well, it's not that way anymore because all he talks about is bass fishing. So different direction, but man, the numbers have been outstanding. Do I miss it? Yeah, I can honestly say that when I walk through the studio and he's doing the show, I come in to feed the cat or, grab a bowling ball or something, and he's doing the show, and I just look over at him, and he'll look at me and he'll go, "Hey, you want to jump on?" And I'm like, "No, keep going."
So are you going to be starting like a bowling alley live? Like, what are you doing?
Well, actually, I did that. We did that 2 years ago, and it was called the Apex series, and we actually had people calling other people out to bowl for money live on YouTube. Damn. And it was pretty cool. It was. You guys have no idea, but I'm telling you, man, some of these big money, late night pot bowling games that take place kind of in the underground a little bit, they get pretty entertaining, pretty fiery. You know, some guys bowling a 3-game set for 500, 500, and $1,000. So you got $2,000 on the line over 2 games and then total pins
plus pot.
It's pretty entertaining. Pete, has that ever happened in fishing? Where somebody just says, I'm tired of all your trash talking. I'm tired of the stuff that you said to the media. I am tired of you running your mouth. Look, here's $1,000. Let's go out. You versus me right now. You in your boat. I'm in my boat. Let's see what you got. Here's my $1,000. Where's yours at?
I've not seen it. I've heard a lot of trash talking. Like we had a frog battle. I think it was between the Cajun Baby and Ish that we're going at who's the best frog guy. The problem with bass fishermen is they want somebody else to put the money up.
Hey, listen to this. I have known guys.
Sponsors.
Yeah.
I have known guys that have put up money without having money. In other words, they had so much confidence in their game that they would bowl for like 200, 200, and 400 and not have a dime in their pocket. Now, they'd end up winning. I've never seen a dude do that and lose. But I think that would be a very, very interesting concept in the fishing world to go, hey, look, you say you got game. You say you want to go out and play. You say that you're the biggest flipper, best flipper in the world. Let's go. Here's $1,000. Let's go. Mano y mano.
I mean, there's beefs, but usually it's just somebody makes a YouTube video and somebody retaliates with another YouTube video.
There's a lot of chatter, but I don't see anyone in this sport actually stepping up.
No.
Who do you guys think would be the first guy to step up and go, listen, I'm tired of all the crap. Here's what we're going to do. I got $1,500 on the line right here. Who wants a piece of me?
Skeet Reese.
You think?
He's got that bank.
Byron Velvick.
I don't think Skeet cares. I don't think he pays attention to anything going on.
So you need someone braggadocious, someone.
He is, but I don't think he's aware of everything going on around. He's just in a skeet bubble.
I think you named Boom Boom, right? Boom Boom he likes to gamble. I wonder if he would.
Yeah.
Oh, who likes to gamble?
Yeah. Who?
Wheeler.
Wheeler.
Jacob Wheeler.
I think Wheeler. I think Wheeler's the guy, Mark.
Yeah, but he would terrify everybody. His bank's too big.
Well, not just that. He catches them.
He's showing up with bank.
His game is too big.
His game
right now.
I'm serious.
Good God.
That would be so entertaining for the fans if it was just totally off the cuff. It's so easy to do now. I mean, technology is a piece of cake. For somebody just to go, you know what, Wheeler? All right, here. I got $2,000. I'm going to kick your ass. Let's go. And live stream the whole thing. Would you watch it, Pete?
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. But isn't the sport already that way? We have to pay $5,000 to jump in a tournament.
But you're competing against, 80 other guys in opens. You got 240 guys. This is mono.
Yeah.
One-on-one. Let's go. With your own money on the line.
It's like
PBP,
WWE.
me and you, one power bait worm, let's go.
Let's do it.
Hey, Mark, I got a question. Hey, Mark, what pro angler in any circuit, which two would you choose to go head-to-head in a midget tossing contest?
What?
Wow.
Well, that's offensive on so many levels.
Why?
You can't
I
call
love
him that
that
anymore.
Dave's getting more and more comfortable. Like he just is getting lower.
Dave, are you saying that because I'm here as short as I am?
You're not a midget.
Hey, have you seen The Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah.
They have a midget tossing contest in that movie.
I remember.
Yeah. Mark, we used to go to a bar called Iguana that would have midget tossing night. They wore harnesses, dude. Like one would be around the small of the back, the other would be around the crook of the neck.
Yeah.
And dudes would launch them.
Wow.
into a ball of like foam, like a pit of foam.
We went downhill fast.
I'm just asking who two anglers would do that. Who are the beefy anglers? That's all.
No, it's all good. I think the fans.
Who are the beefy? Oh, you were looking for like the muscular? Or
who can hurl a dude? That's all. Who can small dude?
No, I think the fans would flock
Caleb
to watch
Caleb.
101.
Yeah.
Something wrong.
with somebody putting their own money up and somebody calling out somebody with their own money and going, "Let's go."
Let's
I
go.
don't
Yeah, I
think it'll
agree.
ever happen. I just don't.
Now you've been trying to make that happen for a while.
Well, I just, some of the things and having covered this game for so many years, and Pete and Becky, you know this. You have seen some of the stuff that takes place behind the stage. Some of the stuff that takes place before you ever get checked in. Some of the stuff that takes place in the campground or at the hotel prior to the event, during the event, and after the day is completed. There are tensions between guys all the time. I just wish one time somebody would step up and, here's what we're going to do now. All right. Tournament's going to be over. People are going to be gone. All right. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of you saying this. I'm tired of you doing this. Let's just go one-on-one. Let's see what happens.
What do you think it would be cool? Do you think it would be cooler if they were in the same boat together doing it?
No.
I don't think so, because that puts limitations. And, Joe Thomas has done that for years, but I don't think it's been, and a situation that calls for animosity between the guys or anything. Don't restrict them. Don't restrict you might restrict or confine them in an area of a lake,
right?
To where maybe they cross each other or something like that. But I think
it needs to be.
There's some cool matches out there that could take place.
But Mark, it can't just be fishing. It has to be a triathlon. It has to be fishing, arm wrestling. What's the third one, guys? I'll let you guys decide.
You can put the octagon on a pontoon and just send it out.
No, we could do that like
beer chug.
No, a beer chug.
Yep, nailed it.
Beer chug.
You're right, dude. A pint. Who can pound the pint?
Yeah.
Arm wrestle. Bass fishing.
Maybe it's like every fish you catch, you have to down a pint.
No, that's a separate competition.
That's part.
Like
we just make it all interactive.
Pete, we can all chug a pint, but you see our very own Riz. He looks like a goddamn like a V8. He's it's gone, dude.
It's gone.
Yeah. But how are you going to be flipping after your third fish catch?
You do that
your
last.
Third pint gets chugged.
After the arm wrestling, you chug to cure the tendonitis.
You're not. But here's something that's been kind of weird. And being retired, with the 20th being my last show, I've kind of sat back and truly kind of watched the game as a fan, not somebody thinking,
yes,
oh my gosh, I got to get the scoop on this. What did he do? How did he do it? Blah, 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 blah. And I've just seen some things that have taken place both on the Elite Series side and on the MLF side from a fan perspective. And I was just kind of like, okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Well, like what? You have to give us an example.
What specifically, dude?
Yeah, this is what
it's just, just like what took place at Fork last week. How many guys were over the century mark? What was it, 4?
Yeah.
4 or 5?
4.
I thought it was 3. Was it 4? I think
Might
it
have
was
been 3.
I think it was 3.
3. Swindle was one of them, though.
He was. Yeah. Swindle tied.
He tied with Paul.
And here's kind of the thing that really, really hit me last week. Was the fact that Swindle has been doing the Elite Series and been doing everything bass for a zillion years, but the dude's never won an Elite Series. Never has.
Right.
And I think that's the closest that he ever came to winning an Elite Series, finishing third.
True? Yeah, he got Angler of the Year.
He's got 2 Anglers.
Yeah.
Twice Angler of the Year. And Gerald.
Well, he did one of those Angler of the Years he did when he was on the Sitco team.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, because I remember seeing him and who was the other guy? There were 3 guys on the Sitco team.
Chris
Alfonso. Our buddy's got one of them boats.
Anyway, I remember seeing him in Tulsa, but back then, I think it was only like 4 or 5 events, and that was it.
All right.
They didn't have 8, 9 events, whatever the number is now, but. I just kind of thought, man, that is crazy as a fan to look at Swindle and go, man, the dude's never won. He doesn't have a blue trophy. Yeah, he's been Angler of the Year, and he's had great seasons.
He's been to a million classics. Wow. He's won
been to
2
a million
AOIs.
classics, but how difficult is it to win one of those blue trophies?
Good point.
When you have somebody like him, and he's never, this is the closest that he's came.
Yeah, well, you've been with the sport forever, and I don't know if you got a chance to weigh in on it, but since your retirement, something sad and monumental has happened, and another visionary, the passing of Ray Scott.
Yeah.
I mean, I just like to hear your thoughts on it.
It kind of hit hard because I don't think anybody that's in this game, no matter what your capacity is, what you do, be it from a participatory standpoint or from a media standpoint or from a selling standpoint of anything that is related in this industry, he was the reason that you're doing what you're doing. I was very, very fortunate. One of the few people, I think, from a media perspective that actually got to go to his place and fish and spend the night there and actually talk to the guy one-on-one. This was
amazing.
15 years ago, probably 15, 16 years ago.
Right.
And to just pick his brain where, you tell me if you disagree with this statement, but there was a Ray Scott that was in Ray mode. And then there was a Ray Scott where he was just being really the guy that he was.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you talk to him and he was in Ray mode, it wasn't really a true indication of the amount of feelings and just what kind of a human being that Ray Scott really was. And to be able to sit in his home and just talk to him about stuff, not only in the industry, but some of the things that were kind of evolving in the industry and get his take on that'll be something that I never forget. So very, very fortunate to do that. And it was funny too, because we actually got to fish on his lake and we were in Van Dam's boat. And I think there were like 6 or 7 guys in Van Dam's boat trying to throw a football jig. You there?
Well, I can hear you, Mark. Are we good?
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
Oh, we're good. I thought our
Okay.
mics were muted or something.
Okay,
No.
that was weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, we actually got to fish on his private lake, and
how is he as an angler? Is he a competent angler?
I never saw the guy fish, but he actually talked a little bit about fishing back in the day,
right?
And I think he was pretty confident. He definitely had a lot of confidence. Hey, what didn't the man not have confidence in?
Yeah,
nothing.
Dude, he wore an ascot. He wore an ascot like on his day off. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He was the ultimate pitch man. He pure enthusiasm. So much legislation he influenced the sport. It's monumental. But you got to fish the pond. Like
I did.
It's like F1 stocked. What the heck was it?
It was crazy.
Was it amazing?
It was like he caught a 5-pounder, and it's just like, man, put that thing back. Doesn't even.
That got sold.
You want a picture? No, we're not going to get a picture. So,
where is that? Is that in Alabama?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I believe he sold it.
Yeah, a lawyer
before he
bought
passed
it.
away.
A lawyer bought it, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It was out in the middle of nowhere. You'd never know that's where his home was. But I think every single person that is involved in this industry in whatever capacity, if Ray Scott doesn't take the risk, and he took a lot of risk, if he does not take the risk that he did early in his career, I don't think we're at the point that we're at today.
I agree, 100%, no question. Yeah. I was fortunate I got weighed in by Ray Scott for the first few years of my career, and he made you want to do it. Like, he was such an important part of making it exciting and interesting. And that's how I want to give a little props to Dave Mercer, because when we've been at a lot of the elite events this year, and I got to see Mercer. I really, through the whole weighing everybody in, his enthusiasm, and man, he really does a heck of a job. And because I've been through the Ray Scott era. I know how amazing it was when he carried that. So I think Mercer's doing a pretty damn good job. But Ray was amazing. But I want to dive into this because we were talking about this earlier, and it's a little bit controversial. Ray Scott catch and release into the world of bass fishing, changed a lot of stuff. We started keeping live wells. Now we have a limit that we cull through. And we saw one of the tournaments come into a situation where they were faced with the culling of a deceased fish. And this is something that really the Bassmasters says no culling of a dead fish. That is a penalty that you're going to have to endure. You're going to have to cull around that fish. If you guys know what I mean that are in the tournament game, even if it's a little tiny dead fish, you got to keep that one because we're not going to put any more fish in harm's way, right? You got to keep that fish. But other tournament trails have no rules relating to this.
FLW never did, is what you were telling me.
They don't have a rule. They don't even address the situation.
And the MLF
So you can hold on, that's not true, Pete. FLW had a rule about culling dead fish.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, absolutely, dude.
Okay. We saw it addressed just recently in video.
It was the MLF Big Five.
And I have been in that situation where I have called the tournament directors live in that situation, not knowing what I was able to do. And the tournament director repeatedly said to me that we currently have no rules surrounding the fish being dead or alive.
In 1854.
Hold on, Mike. And I'm talking about the FLW EverStart, that whole
that's what I'm talking about.
Ranger boat era.
Yeah,
they said they had no policy regarding dead fish.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know that I'm factual on it, and I haven't read the rules or competed in a tournament.
But you called someone and said I got a dead fish, and they said it's okay.
they said we have.
Did you check his pulse?
They have no rules about what you need to do with that.
So as long as the happen?
Yeah, we saw something. BTC saw something which brought this up for discussion.
Who'd you call? Shelly, and she was like, yeah, we have no rules. Shelly's his wife, by the way, guys.
You call that fish. Get that extra half.
Who was the tournament director? Did our guys imitate Bill?
Bill Taylor.
Yeah, Bill Taylor. Yeah, we have no rules, Pete.
Yeah. I don't think they put a rule there. I don't know what their philosophy on it is or was or whether it's changed.
Happened?
Thank you. So in the MLF Big Five series, latest event on Gunnersville, the guy that actually won was on camera throwing a corpse overboard. And there's, according to some other people I've talked to, somebody that's finished very high, was in contention to win that event. There's no rule. There's no rule about that you can't.
I'm shocked.
I was shocked too.
Yeah.
I'm not. Who wants dead fish brought up, man?
Hold on a second.
Turn them things back. Get them out of sight.
But
Get them out of sight, dude.
That very well may be the
Sometimes they eat too much of the bait and they die,
Yeah.
man. Get them out of there, dude. Don't bring them up.
Nobody would have a fish to weigh in St. Lawrence.
This is
in July when they go there, or August.
I'm actually, am I bad for not caring? Turn them things back. Get them out. Let nature.
Can I do that for the
reconsume it.
Pro-Am?
No. What
Like,
the hell's wrong with you people?
All dead
You're
fish.
supposed to try to keep
I'm
them
not saying
alive
like
and be
multiple.
penalized.
Yeah,
I know, but like.
maybe you're allowed to have one dead one, and let nature reconsume it.
But what if I like
You know what I mean?
penalize you
I
5
think nature
pounds
would
if
like
you
that.
bring
Huh?
me a
Crawfish
dead
would love
fish?
it.
If you what?
If you bring a dead fish to the scales, I'm going to penalize you 5 pounds. I'm the one who has to get rid of the dead fish. Like, I don't.
I mean,
Well, the point of the penalty is to make because we get consumed.
Accountability.
Accountability. You get consumed at the tournament, the pressures. You got to keep catching them, and you don't want to take the time to put the G juice in to make sure that you have ice to make sure your aerators are working.
make sure you don't wait 10 minutes.
Turn on the right
hook
button
on a Senko. and throat him. Thank you, Mark.
So this is the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit we're talking about, right? Same tournaments. That's the Big Five. It's okay.
Yeah.
On the website, Rule 18.
Oh
damn.
4 ounces will be deducted from the total weight for each dead bass presented for weigh-in.
Right.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with culling it during the event.
So you can cull it, but if you bring it in, you lose weight.
Right.
No, there's a lot of rules that say no culling of dead fish. It specifically says no culling of dead fish.
We're talking about
Back
this
when I
store.
remember reading that shit.
Yeah,
right?
that's what
that
Bass says.
existed.
So you have to make that call. Like, if it's still, like, if
There
it
will-
doesn't look like it'll make it, but it's still flopping.
Yeah, right. What determines
you
a
could
dead fish?
release
Right.
then.
You don't have what are the things called? Like the doctor scope on his neck.
Yeah.
Like, he's still moving, guys.
Stethoscope?
You see, he's
A
his tail
doctor
just-
scope.
I don't know. I thought stethoscope, but I wasn't sure it was a microscope. I had a lot of whiskey. I'm sorry, Mark
It's all
Jefferies.
good.
We got you on here retired, and I'm fucking talking.
So should we have that rule, or do we not have that rule, Mark?
I thought the rule was in there. Part of the strategy that anytime I fished a tournament is if you hooked a fish throwing a Carolina rig or something like that, and he may not look that well and say it's a 3-pounder, well, it's a judgment call. All right, he's alive now, but is he going to be alive an hour from now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think I can catch a bigger fish than a 3-pounder, so here, I'm going to let you go to live another day.
Agreed. Get
That's
him out
part
of
of
there.
the strategy, is it not?
Yeah, throw him out of there.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. And guys on the message board, if I'm wrong, or not that I'm not a tournament director, but if that rule exists over there, let us know. But I want to dive in a little deeper on it.
I've got my guy fact checking here. It sounds like there's no rule from FLW about that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and
I'm shocked. Shocked.
Flabbergasted?
I thought I remember seeing no culling of dead fish, dude.
Yeah, we've seen it so many times at all the
Yeah.
I mean, even the little pot tournaments that we fish all usually mimic the bass rules, and it says right there. It says it on the Ike Foundation.
Yeah, because we just copied them and then just fix what needed to be relevant
and
for
also
our event. But
that Rojas beat Swindle by an ounce at Toledo Bend.
For a win.
Yes.
Wow.
Can we get
that
Luke
was
Duncan on
win.
as the guy from FLW to tell us whether or not that was a rule?
All right,
Explain
I
that
have a
rule.
question
That's
for
what he
Bill
needs.
Taylor, that's
Explain
it.
it.
I have a question.
Talk to me.
Okay. I want to dive into 2023. And like I said, I've just been looking at it from a fan's perspective, but I know there's a lot of other stuff going on because of what I've heard Matt talk about. But here's my question. Can you see bass, and specifically bass, going, you know what? We're going to help you guys out in 2023 from a cost perspective, gas at $5-6 a gallon, whatever. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back-to-back events, and they're going to be, say, 60 to 100 miles apart as far as location to reduce the amount of cost, because it seems like, and Becky, you can chime in on this one, it seems like that you do save money when you do have back-to-back events, but by creating those back-to-back events in close proximity, it would save the guys a lot of money. What are your thoughts on that?
I actually do have an opinion on this.
Oh.
I can't remember what year it was. It would have been a year that we had Falcon Amistad back-to-back. So what was that, maybe like 08 or 09? Somewhere in that realm. But they had a year where they did 2 tournaments back-to-back. And then you'd have, so many weeks off. And
Didn't
then
they try
2
to do that in
tournaments back-to-back.
California,
Yeah.
too?
Well, they did that,
Yeah.
but
Well, they
you know,
usually
that
always
was
do it
many
with
years ago.
Yeah,
Many
they
years
always do that with California. They'll back it up to something. So they'll do either the Delta and
Clear Lake.
Clear Lake, or the last time we did Delta, and then we went to Havasu.
Okay.
But they had a year where they did it, and I'm telling you, it was exhausting that second tournament, but it worked because it's hard if you're at a tournament and then you have 2 weeks off and then you're all the way over here. I mean, when the schedule's all over the place and you have weeks between, it's not that simple. We're not a sport where we've got like private jets and drivers.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you don't get to just go home. It's like, well, where do I get my rig to if I want to even try to get home, or do I drive all the way home? Or I remember that year being a lot easier. I mean, it just made sense.
Right.
Pete, two examples would be Toledo Bend and Sam Rayburn, back-to-back weeks.
Right.
Another one would be Table Rock and Lake of the Ozarks.
Right.
2 great, really good fisheries that are close proximity, but then you have it back-to-back. All of them have good cell service because you have to have that now with the way that the tournaments are covered. But the only reason I bring this up is I see pain right now. as a fan. I see it in a lot of those guys that are not earning checks. And those guys that are not earning checks, when you're paying $5 a gallon, $4.50, whatever it is, $6 a gallon, that is a major, major pinch from a financial standpoint, because most of those guys, if they're not having success, they're kind of the lower tier to middle tier guys. And I think as an organization, you might want to take a look, because I don't think it's getting any better soon based upon everything that I have researched and talked to. And, I'm right in the middle of energy country here, and we have I have quite a few friends that are heavily involved in the energy industry, and it's going to be a while. So in order to take a little bit of the pain away from the anglers, but still put a really, really good product and give the anglers an opportunity to showcase their skills, I almost suspect that this is something that really needs to be thrown on the table for next year.
I think you could throw it on the table. We could all sit here and come up with tons of lakes that you could do back to back. I mean, Oneida, Thousand Islands. Like, there's so many out there you could do. But here's the reality of it. And this is going to sound callous, and everyone can say Becky's whatever.
An elitist.
No.
Deep state.
I'm going to say this, and everyone's going to be like, oh,
comment
she's...
on the message board wins.
So,
Becky is...
The reality is... The reality is Bass is going to be, and is, more concerned with getting top dollar from that city or that county and coming when they want us there over making sure it's easy and helping out the guys. I'm sorry. It's just a reality.
That's
a business decision.
It's a business decision. And they're going to take care of their business and not the anglers.
Well,
it's just the way it is. Like, I think that's a brilliant idea, and I think that years ago when they did it, it was awesome. But at the end of the day, I think these counties, these communities have less and less money, and you are more at the mercy of them and whatever they're telling you, when they want you, how it works. And I mean, the guys are going to start practicing on Memorial Day. Do you think that was a good decision? I don't think so. How many pleasure boaters are you going to have out on Monday? And these guys are trying to practice for a tournament to win $100,000. Like,
it's always been stepping on the holidays over the years. I remember that well. And
dude, worse than that is there's a freaking soccer tournament on every holiday that just destroys families with these freaking soccer tournaments. Get over it, man. Nobody's playing soccer. Knock it off.
My point is that you're not going to change this.
Have you noticed a difference? Because when the split happened, there, especially I noticed with Bass, like they have this wonderful angler manager that talks to the people or talks to the anglers, and they're more closely connected with the anglers. Did you notice a difference since Mike came back from what it was like before to the way it is now?
I'm not as connected. That's probably the easiest way for me to say it. I mean, I find it very interesting. I find Facebook has made it so all the wives can communicate, and I think that's really nice, but it's not me. You know what I mean? When I was out there before, I had my group of people. Like, we survived together. We traveled together. We raised babies together. We were stuck in campgrounds. Like, we looked out for each other, and those were true bonds. And I had other people that I was on the road with that I thought were lovely people. I mean, this is like school. You know what I mean? Like, you have those people.
They were forged in the foxhole.
You know what I mean? Like, you were acquaintances with people, but like they weren't your close-knit people, but there was no issues with those people. I find that now it's like everyone is supposed to be best friends. And that's a weird thing to me. You know what I mean? Like, I like everybody, but
not really.
No, I do. I don't dislike anyone. I'm trying to not have this come across wrong, but I feel like I can't figure out what that energy is right now. I think it's wonderful if all these people truly are just like, oh my God, we love each other and we're this one big family. But we're competing. You know what I mean? And I'm going to look out for you. If you need help, if I see you on the side of the road, like, I'm going to stop. I'm going to help you. Like, I don't have an issue with you, but I'm also, we don't live in a world where you're best friends.
It's like you don't want to be fake. You want to be real.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Is it a little bit of like the safe space nerfed generation meeting like the Generation X?
Or maybe people just putting up a front.
But she was saying everybody thinks everybody's supposed to be like kumbaya.
Oh, yeah.
You know, let's all sit around the same campfire.
Yeah. So you see the comments on social media like, oh, there's no respect anymore. Nobody. There's also gamesmanship. And like we talked about earlier with Gerald and Greg, I feel like, and I wasn't there, but I feel like Gerald pulled a veteran move on him. He muscled him out of there.
He Ric Flaired him, dude.
Yeah, but that's going on
Gerald
forever.
went straight.
But now we all get to watch
going on
it.
forever, but
now we all get to watch
it,
and people get to have opinions.
Right.
Yep.
And everybody get so mad about grow up.
Hey, I want to weigh in on this because, like it was Jake pointed out earlier, I started fishing in the 1700s, and I saw gas prices that were $5 a gallon.
Pete actually saw the dinosaurs that turned into the gasoline.
He watched one melt into oil.
That's right.
Saw this pterodactyl. He said, "Oh my God, look at him!"
It happened faster than you think.
Right into 95 Ultra.
But we
remembers quicksand.
We had
ethanol free too.
we had the 250s, right, and they were not the advanced 250 horsepowers that we have today that are way better on fuel consumption than what was it 10 or 15 years ago when we had $4 a gallon, and it changed the way that I competed. And I believe in a really negative way, especially when you're talking about going to the Great Lakes. And I vividly remember that I'm paying $4.50 a gallon, and I've got to drive out to the Peely Island from Lake St. Clair to
Sandusky.
Yeah, it's 50 gallons times that's $250 a day, $220 a day just for that boat ride, and every single day. It absolutely wipes you out. So
Pete,
learn ways around it.
Remember when Everstart launched us out of friggin' Cleveland 2 years in a row? That was awesome, wasn't it?
That was
Everyone
awesome.
had to go like 100 miles, like
dude.
west.
The greatest thing from that tournament, the wind blew, and one of the dudes wanted to run to Peely Island from Cleveland in like 5, 6, 7 footers, and he just was going to go. That's it. And he drives, and I was talking to him, and he goes, I'm 3.5 hours into my drive and realize I'm not there yet, and there's no point in continuing because I won't have any fishing time. So he drove 3.5 hours in 5-foot waves, turned around and drove 3.5 hours back, and put his boat on the trailer.
I feel
never made a cast.
I feel for his co-angler.
Oh my God,
that dude got screwed.
Right.
He drew the short straw.
Pete, let me ask you this: in challenging economic times like we're currently in, and all indications are they're going to continue.
Mm-hmm.
Does that impact, because of what you mentioned, that a lot of guys may fish different because they simply are not willing to spend the money because they may or may not have it? But what I want to know is, does the temperament change? In other words, where somebody might be a little more, yeah, go ahead, yeah, you can have it, whatever. Now, because their expensive has increased so much, there's going to be more confrontations due to the fact that they're not going to give up that area because they know that area is going to produce and they need the money.
I believe you're right. I believe you're on it because there's a lot of things when you're out competing that can change the way you compete and apply pressure. They apply pressure to what's going on. A lot of times it's personal relationships, can really apply pressure to what the decisions that you're making, how you're competing. But financial pressure, oh my gosh, it's a massive thing that is definitely going to ratchet it up because guys are, I've been in that situation. If I don't get a check, I don't pay my mortgage. So guess what? The cuffs are off, man. The gloves are off. You know, it's like I got to get it. I got to get it done. that was personal relationships. I got them confused.
Are you kidding me?
Got them mixed up.
Were they fluffy?
Hey, Mark.
We talk about.
Hey, Mark, you think you're cutting edge with an apron? Pete is next level with cuffs, bro. He ain't playing around with aprons.
They have zebra pattern?
Zebra pattern cuffs? They're my favorite.
Oh, man, I got to find these on Amazon.
Wow.
Oh, my gosh.
We talk about handcuffs.
That's what he's talking about. I meant to say the gloves are off, and I said the cuffs.
He didn't say nothing. You brought it up. You said cuffs. He's just sitting there in his cooking apron, minding his business.
I caught my faux pas. I caught my error.
It was a Freudian slip.
But it will definitely apply pressure, cuffs or gloves. You know.
Or zip ties.
Yeah. and I think we'll see more fights. I think especially the guys that, man, there's so much going on because what else is applying pressure now, especially on the elites? I see it. This transition has happened. So now you got to average and I don't know how it works, to be honest, the details, but you got to requalify, right?
Yeah.
So there's a whole herd of people out there right now that are facing the chopping block if they don't get it done this year. And that's going to be applying pressure. You add that with – and those are probably the same guys that are battling the financial pressures, right? Because if you're not making checks, you're not getting points. You're looking at not requalifying, and you're not getting as many checks as you need. So, yeah, I think we'll see the kumbaya era maybe a little bit less in 2023.
Mark, I have a follow-up to your question.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You being a sports traditionalist and a hardcore coach, what are your thoughts on maybe like introducing hockey fights to fishing? Like, guys arguing over a spot, get on the front deck, lock up jerseys, and bang it out.
Yeah, go in the penalty box for 30 minutes or whatever.
MLF, they put you in a penalty box for letting a fish touch the deck. Why not, for touching a guy in the face?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey,
you want to increase the popularity of the game?
Fighting, dude.
Didn't that happen? Something like that happened with Ish Monroe a while back.
It was the worst fight ever between him and Keith. It was like the worst fight ever.
They took fighting out of hockey. They ain't letting it in fishing.
No. I know,
Wait,
but imagine how awesome that would be.
Yeah, it's going.
Yeah.
No, they made
what are you
it
talking
so.
about? I went to a game and saw fights
It's so
every 2
punitive.
seconds.
It's,
I don't know. I stopped watching.
Well, you didn't go to NHL. You might have went to like Phantoms.
No, we went this year. What?
No, it's not out. In fact, there's a E60 special coming out the first week of June, and I'm all about the hockey. My team, they got beat up by the Avalanche. They're out, the Blues. But anyway, there's a documentary coming out in June that features the clash between the Detroit Red Wings and the Colorado Avalanche back in the Claude Lemieux situation where he cold-cocked. Yeah. And there is hatred, true hatred, still with some of these guys. There's a great promo that's out. It's like a 2-minute promo, and I can't wait to see it.
His eyes are mini clock, right?
Yeah. I highly recommend everyone watch Goons on Netflix.
That's great. That is
right,
a
Mark?
great,
Fucking
great
yeah,
film.
dude.
What is that?
Oh, it's about enforcers.
Really?
It's an NHL enforcer documentary on Netflix. Yeah.
Oh, it's a doc.
It's amazing, dude.
Oh.
It's really, really good.
It's the best one.
Really good.
Mark, who are they following?
What's that?
In this documentary?
Oh, Pro Bear, Ty Domi.
Oh my goodness gracious.
The Bangers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, long time. They show the fight that Pro Bear had.
Probert. Go ahead.
The dude from Vancouver that goes down, and I can't remember his name, is one of the greatest fights of all time. But Bob Probert, he ended up. They go in depth a little bit because he had so many issues when he got out of hockey.
Yeah.
He's living on the street.
Yeah, he's all messed up.
Yeah.
Dave Tiger Williams. Tiger Williams?
He was Kings.
Chris
Tiger
Simmons?
Williams was from the
Dave
Kings.
Tiger Williams.
Right.
He was from the Kings, dude.
Who?
Tiger Williams.
He played for Toronto.
I thought he was LA Kings, man. Whatever.
No, he was Toronto.
All right.
Dave Schultz. Obviously, you guys know all
Well,
about
from the Flyers, we have our bangers
Yeah.
from the Broad Street Bullies, man.
Yeah. Some of the most greatest epic hockey ever played, especially against the Russians.
So, Mark, I live like a mile from the bar that team used to hang out at called Rexy's Bar. It's still standing today.
Yep. Really?
Yeah, they would all go there. Yeah, dude. I'm sure the broads they smashed were all dead now, but I mean, like all like the waitresses and stuff, they ain't around no more. But the owner, like, it's still in the family. It's still the same family, dude.
Hey, are there? And this is something because I haven't been out there for a while. Are there still fishing groupies?
Where?
I've never met one.
Like,
yeah, where, dude?
50-year-old
On
men?
tour?
Yeah. Like,
No?
I don't know. Maybe like, I don't know about all
what do
that.
You know anything about that? Beat of the Sea?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not out there.
There's more groupies in bowling than fast fishing, dude.
Talk to Panger.
Yeah, there's more broads worried about your hole size than on the bowling ball, bro. I'm not talking about
That's funny.
There were groupies when we were covering the Elite Series, man.
Really?
Groupies show up.
I guess. I don't.
They were always 30 to 50-year-old married men.
Yeah.
You know?
From Alabama.
That's what most of them were.
With a belly button you could boil soup in.
Wow.
I wonder though, Mark, that's great. Everything's changed. There's a lot going on out there. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. You know.
No groupies, huh?
Yeah.
I only had one that I had to scare off.
Really? What, a guy stalking you?
No, there was a girl. Mike.
I mean, you're all over the thing. I don't know. It's on you.
Let's hear about it, Beck.
Yeah.
No, there's nothing to talk about. There was just one who was a groupie, and that's back when there was MySpace. You guys, this was so long ago.
So what happened?
MySpace?
Yeah, this was back when MySpace was the deal.
So what happened?
I don't know. I just made my presence known, and she drifted off within a matter of months. That's
months.
So it was a prolonged internet war. PsyOps.
Well, she tried to play the friend card. I've told you guys this story. It's
No,
like
we
the
never heard
random
this
people
story.
that have ever they've called because Mike's phone number says because his voicemail's always full, so it says to call my number. And I would get like these women that would call.
Damn.
And they would claim that they used to work for Mike, and I was like,
Bitch.
I'd be like, you know, Jennifer, your like worker called.
Did you ever ask for their full names? Like eventually, when you got schooled ones, you could Google them bitches, see what they look like.
No,
Oh my god!
No, I didn't care that much. But I just have a couple random stories of like people that would call, and I would just call Mike up laughing. I'd be like, ha ha ha.
You are so confident because most women, like most women, if it's like an ugly one, be like I don't care. But if it's like a hot one, be like, who's this bitch on the phone? You'll be like,
This
who
bitch,
is this?
she thinks she cute.
Google images. I saw her.
Wow. Hey, you know who did have groupies at one stop that we went when we were on the Elite Series? Harold Allen. Harold Allen had some groupies.
Really?
This is a quick story. Real quick story. This was back when we were doing live coverage from establishments, be it a sports bar, restaurant, you know, wherever I could find an internet connection that would have a crowd, that's where we would do it at. Well, this was the stop at what is right by Florence, just to the west of Lake Wilson Lake. Is that Pickwick?
It's Pickwick.
Pickwick.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Pickwick.
Okay, it was at Pickwick.
Like
the only place
Bull
that I
Shoals?
could find was a biker bar. And I don't even know if the biker bar is still there. But I called the guy up and he was like, "Oh yeah, man, come on. We'll have it set up." So the first day I go and I set up and you know, Harold and Matt are with me and we go in there and you talk about guys and girls partying. Oh my gosh. Suddenly they became fishing fans. Well, the second night there were more people there. The third night it was standing room only. And the final night where we had, I think it was the one that Tommy Biffle won. The final night, jam-packed. The guy said he's never seen this place this crowded on a Sunday. Jam-packed. Harold is being Harold. And this is no joke. The next thing I know, I'm doing it. I say, hey, we're going to take a break. Come back. As soon as we take a break, I turn to my right, and this woman is all over Harold with no top on, just getting after it.
That's what's up.
All right?
Heck
I
yeah.
mean, just...
This is what bass fishing
just
needs.
getting after it.
I
And Harold was
agree.
like, oh my gosh, and he didn't really know what was going on, and then just like that, before we came back live, she just kind of wandered off. And then we got done,
amazing.
and here she came again. And Biffle was there because we had Biffle come by, and we actually interviewed Biffle while all this was going on. And, you know, he's like, damn, I haven't seen anything quite like that before. Yeah. Might need to cut him. Yeah. So one of the more memorable times that we had when we were doing all that on location live stuff during the tournament. Yeah, man. She
Beck, can we do some one
she loved some Harold. She loved the legend.
We need to go to biker bars.
She's lucky that wasn't a prime BTC, because 9 months later she would have had a carpenter.
Wow. We back in the day, we
25 and single
we did
BTC.
some gigs at some crazy
Right.
places, but it was the only place that we could find internet. So we did what we had to do.
So you and young Matt didn't have your share of groupies following BTL around?
Matt had he was the nature boy for a reason.
Well, he's a young, handsome kid. You know what I mean? There's many stories, and when that point in time comes, that those will be shared. But now's not the time, because the Grasshopper is doing very well, and he's got a house now, man. He's a
I
homeowner.
saw that.
Wow.
And he got a John Deere tractor.
Hey, Mark,
yeah.
Mark, being that we're talking about groupies, I want to ask you, in the obscure world of groupies, who has a higher caliber of groupie, the bowling community or the bass fishing community?
I would say the bowling community.
Wow.
Dang!
That's
Yeah.
bad.
Wow.
Wow.
Yo,
There- there's some folks that show up.
all you
Bowling
young
groupies.
stupid ass single anglers that think you're gonna bankroll mom and dad's money in this and bang a bunch of hot chicks. The bowling community's got you smacked, clapped, per fucking Mark Jefferies, dude, the pro of both industries. He knows them both.
Yeah.
Man.
So
Look at
bowling,
that.
huh?
Who knew?
Bowling. There's a lot of bowling groupies. There really are.
I need to go to is it called a bowling match? A bowling tournament? What do we call it?
Tournament.
It's a tournament.
Tournament.
Yeah, well, see,
I
they're
need to
set up.
go.
They're
I
set
wanna
up to have
see.
groupies because they have bars there,
Music.
they have music,
Oh, yeah.
Disco lights.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
We need.
Big
That's what we
balls.
need. We need disco lights at the weigh-in.
Becky, why don't we have like a Ike Foundation bowling competition? How many people show up? Because girls don't want to fish, but they'll throw a bowl down the alley. You know?
Hey, you know who is a really, really good bowler, and I haven't witnessed yet?
Who?
But everything that he tells me, Randy Blockett.
Now, he don't
In
lie.
fact, Randy Blockett said that if he had a choice and the opportunity, that during his time he actually would have tried to go out and be on tour on the PBA.
Is that the typical demeanor of bowlers like that?
No.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think so.
No.
Well,
No. There's some iconic people, and I know Mike, he spent some time with Kyle Troop.
Yeah.
That was cool. That did a lot to open up some stuff.
Send more
I got
bass groupies to bowling.
probably the number one-handed bowler in the world. His name is Chris Prather. Chris Prather is actually sponsored by Strike King now.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Yeah, take our money too.
Yeah.
do you
Crossover.
Do you do that two-hand bowling thing?
No, I am very, very against two-handed bowling, even though
I didn't even know that's a thing. What is two-handed bowling, Pete?
They got a hand in the holes, and
There's
they got
only
one
two
in front.
holes. There's only two holes.
So they
You hold it like
I've
you
seen
hold,
three-holers.
You hold
This
it
is a
like this.
two-holer, and your hands on the other
I'm
side.
not trying to be gross.
And you
So the
Yeah,
have to
like
watch
I'm
that
telling.
episode.
Between
You
we got
have
the
to
guy
watch the episode
between your legs.
with Kyle Troop.
yeah.
wow, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Hey, Kyle Troop won over $500,000 last year.
Dang.
On tour.
Yeah, he just won. I saw
And he
just a few weeks
won
ago
the
he won.
PBA playoffs. Won
Yeah.
another $100,000.
And didn't catch a single fish.
I mean, shoot. I usually
No.
just grab the
Becky-
big, heaviest black one I can find and send it down the middle.
Or the
No.
8-pounder
Becky, I
that
have
you can
a
get one
question.
finger
Does
in.
Mike still
and then
have
you can spin it.
those pants?
Take out a couple ceiling
Oh,
tiles.
yeah.
When he did the thing with
Oh yeah.
Kyle.
Oh yeah, we still have the pants. They're amazing pants.
Is this guy Kyle a pro angler or is he a bowler?
He's a bowler, but like he dresses all like flashy and bright and crazy as an afro.
Big afro, yeah.
Dang.
Really cool guy. That was Stella's favorite person that she met. She thought he was
Good energy,
so
huh?
much fun. And he had gotten a shower, so his hair was real normal and tight. And he told her during dinner, he said, remind me at the end of dinner, I'll go into the bathroom and I'll pick it out for you.
Dang.
And so, and at the end of dinner, she was like, the hair. And he was like, oh, okay, I forgot, you know, and he went and he like picked it all out for her. And she thought he was so much fun.
God.
Loved him. Vegas's favorite was Marina Alex, the golfer.
Attaboy.
Because Vegas wanted to golf with her here in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
So he rigged something with, you know, the club, but he put a reel on it and he tied a string to the ball because he didn't want to go get the ball. So he'd hit it and then he would like reel it back in. And then he'd hit the ball again, he'd reel it back in.
Wow.
And the two of them sat there for like an hour and she taught him how to like swing. So they had a blast together.
That's cool.
Dang.
as hell.
So are those shows still out there? Are they on YouTube? Can you still watch them?
You cannot. You cannot.
Yeah, that movie is called The Toy with Richard Pryor and Jackie Gleason, Mark.
Wow.
Oh, come on. That was amazing, guys. Get out of here.
Wow.
No, I've actually held on tight to them because we fully own them. And so I would like to work with another network. Long story, but no, they're not out there.
Okay.
I got nothing. But no,
You got nothing.
I got a fishing question if I'm allowed. Mark?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Come on. We were having so much fun.
I'm sorry. Well, he gave up 6 months ago on the show, and now he can't ask him questions and anything like that. Did you end up catching a fish on the Color 7 bait yet?
I've only thrown it one time.
Okay.
I threw it on Monday when I caught that 8.7, and yes, I caught multiple 2 and 3 pounders, but nothing really big yet.
That's awesome.
The topwater bite was not on. It was crazy. Pete, have you ever seen? Listen to this. The wind's blowing 5 to 10, cloudy all day long, great looking watercolor, shad active all over the place. They would not be aggressive on a topwater. That's like the perfect topwater condition.
It sure is.
They wanted nothing to do with it. They wanted the crankbait. That's what they wanted.
Well, they never listen to us, Mark. You got to give them what they want.
Be thankful
You know?
that there's even anything to want anything, because here in Jersey, it's throw a stupid Senko and sit around, do nothing, catch a couple. And,
No, but that number 7 bait is amazing.
What is it?
And hang on, I think I got. There's only 2 been made. Hang on.
What?
So what happened is Frank Scalish, the used to be Elite Series guy, he paints for Lornet. And when Mark had his incident, came back to the show, Pangrack wanted him to say, you know, my favorite color is 7, and people think that his brain's all messed up, stuff like that. So Frank Scalish
Still is.
Frank Scalish took matters into his own hands and made a color on a spook called Color 7.
Yeah, here it is right here. I don't know if
So
you
it's
can
like
see
the
it.
Area 51 of fishing.
Could be.
Hold it there, Mark.
There you go.
Man, Mark's
That's
got
sexy,
that
though.
shit on command. Dang.
Okay, but look what it says right there on the front.
7.
Don't believe the hype.
Number 7.
Number 7.
Dang.
That's a crazy looking spook.
That's the first one that he made, and he made me a second one, and that's the one that I've been using. And yes, I have caught several fish on it, but nothing big yet. Nothing big. But yeah, it sounds great, looks great in the water. Have you guys ever seen this whole thing? Yeah, it was the whole number 7 thing. But what happened was I was in Wichita, where my in-laws live, and they had an old, and I am all about going into these kind of bizarre, off-the-grid bait and tackle stores.
Oh, God, yeah.
Those are amazing to go into. And there's one in Wichita, Kansas, and it's weird because it's right downtown. It's just off the grid, kind of downtown Wichita. And I went in there and I was looking around, and man, it was just a mess. But I see these things that look like Zara spooks hanging on the end cap. And I'm like, well, what are those? They don't have any hooks in them, but they have rings to put 2 sets of treble hooks on there. So I asked the guy, well, what are these? And he goes, well, they're kind of like a Zara spook, but The catfish guys use these things to keep their bait up off of the bottom.
Oh, wow.
It's like, really? He goes, you ever seen anybody use them as a topwater? And he goes, yeah, every now and then somebody will come in. Well, I have this thing about the color orange. I like orange. Orange is one of my favorite colors. They had these really bizarre, construction cone orange looking pieces of the catfish floaters. So I bought like 6 of them. I was like, here, give them to me. So when Matt and I had our one-on-one battle that we have every year, and we haven't had it this year yet, I had it on the deck of the boat, and Matt comes over and he's like, what the hell is that? I go, dude, it's kind of like a Zara spook. And he goes, you seriously think that you're going to catch something on that? Well, we filmed the entire day. Like, I had a camera and he had a camera. I threw that turd for 3.5 hours and never had a blow up. Never had a blow up. So Frank made fun of me and he goes, look, man, he goes, I'm seriously going to paint you something that has orange in it that you're going to be able to catch fish with. Because how many people, and I wish I had one of those, I'd show you. But those things, they look like a construction cone. They were that orange.
Wow.
They had a little bit of black on there, but have yet to catch a topwater fish using the construction cone. And Frank took care of me on that, put a little kind of orange looking bones on the side of this spook. But yeah, man, I caught the heck out of them, just nothing big on Monday. Keep
at it with the orange. I know George Cochran on Bash U on his retirement seminar said that his top secret color on stick baits is orange.
Really?
Orange.
Orange. Yes, sir. One piles of money on it.
I think. Let me ask you this.
Putting
Let
a
me ask
marker on it,
all
or?
all 4.
No, they got the Yamamoto makes that color. I'm sorry, Mark. What were you saying?
No, I wanted to ask. I want an opinion. It could be short or long. It doesn't matter. Is color more of a confidence thing or an application thing?
Application.
I'll go first. For so many, fishing pressure to me is such an important factor in color selection. Because I think without fishing pressure, the color choices are simplistic and very, very easy. But once you add a 250-man field frothing the water up for a week, you've got to start going outside of your comfort zone on color to be able to trigger strikes, give fish something that they haven't seen or don't commonly see. So, that's what fishing pressure to me changes my process on color.
Let me just back that up real quick. Braz, you remember we talked about earlier trespass fishing?
Yeah.
You remember when we tried to go to Davis Mill one time and there was a derby there and there was no place to park, and I just looked on a map. This is before smartphones and stuff, and we rolled on Shepherd's Mill. You remember that?
Maybe.
Had the little boat, the little
Yeah.
sneaky boat. We threw the boat in Shepherd's Mill back before anybody could get on that, and we were catching the hell out of them. They were all cookie cutters, but we were catching them so good. I had a slider head with a 4-inch Berkeley Power Lizard on, black. Just catching them. I catch one. He comes up. He throws the worm. I take the fish off the hook or whatever, and I'm pawing at. I'm in the little bass, the 10-foot boat with the bucket seats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm pawing at my worm to try to bring it back, to put it back on the hook. And I got, I don't know, 2 feet of line from the top of the eye to the naked slider head, jig head with a hook, and I caught a bass at the boat with on a bare hook. So no pressure, they'll eat anything. Lots of pressure, you got to mess with color. There it is.
Pressure
University.
Pressure is key. Power bait, Paul. Talk about color.
Well, I feel like it's also a confidence thing. I mean, yes, it's an application, but it's also confidence. Like with me, give me a red shad anything, I'll catch them. You know what I mean? Red shad Senko, red shad power worm. It's just And it doesn't matter the clarity of the water. It could be muddy water, it could be clear water, it could be cedar water. I'll get them. You know what I mean? It's my confidence thing. But then in clear water, I like to throw more natural colors. You know what I mean? Something like there's a lot of yellow perch, and they're a good forage fish in the ponds I fish. A lot of yellow perch color crankbaits or topwaters. And then in the muddy waters, I love chartreuse. Chartreuse kills it in the muddy water. You know, I just throw this little 2-inch chartreuse grubs, slay crappie and bass in those muddy waters all day. You know, so it's give and go, a little bit of both. You know,
you said it all.
Yeah.
Especially red shad. I love that, Mark. When's the last tournament that's been won on red shad? Was that Brian Kirchhoff?
Yep.
Might have been.
That's what I would say.
That and Tequila Sunrise is
Yes. That's the first power. That's the first power arm I ever used.
That was an old Copra color Tequila Sunrise.
That's right. Becky's melting down right now.
Motor oil. Man.
Apparently, we're having a BU.
No, I'm
your
curious.
fault,
I tried to get it like live, and you guys all sighed at me. Let's talk about colors.
Anything on that orange turd for 3.5 hours.
This all went silent and weird on me, dude. I'm not doing it no more. I'm sorry. Red Shad Power Bay, Paul. What do you got?
All right, here. See, I'm actually interviewing you guys. I'm like,
you were the master.
I know. You just fell into that, and we all got lazy, and we're like, just let Mark ask the question.
just let Mark in. All right, here's the next thing, and then I think I'm out of questions. But what is going to be the next big thing in this game? What is one thing? It could be technology. It could be a format. It could be a motor. What is going to be the next big thing? Because think about the transition that this game has went through over the last 20 years.
I think propulsion, Mark. Propulsion is easily the next thing that's going to happen.
Electric.
Whether it's an electric propulsion or some form of more,
that's coming. It's
consolidated, combustionable propulsion, but it's going to be that, dude.
Compulsion.
Propulsion.
What'd I say?
Compulsion?
Did I say
you said
compulsion?
it right. I think you said it right.
That's not what I said. Propulsion.
Propulsion.
Huh? Whatever.
That's a good.
God damn it.
That's definitely gonna affect things. It's gonna change things
You're
dramatically.
drinking alcohol and you're gonna rip on me, dude. Hey, can I have a beer, Jake? What are you doing?
Brian, what about you? What are your thoughts, Brian? No thoughts?
Yeah, but no, I don't know. It's got to be with the electronics. There's another level to it. There's got to be. It's pretty insane right now, but this ain't the end of it. And I think that's where it's at.
I mean, we've seen the crappie anglers with like 3-foot long screens, and mounts that are 4 feet high.
You're awesome.
That's got to be coming into the bass fishing game.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
Yeah.
But that sonar, that forward facing sonar has been the big change, right? That's been the monumental. Well, first it was spot lock. Spot lock really revolutionized stuff. Power poles,
anchor.
Yeah.
Yep.
But what's changed? But what's changed in terms of propelling the boat? Nothing.
We still use the coffee can.
Well, here's
the
what's
concrete.
changed. It started out 150 horsepower restriction, which would be awesome right now in the fuel scenario that you're talking about, Mark. The 150s don't burn anything, but they went from 150s to unlimited, and that's where it's stayed.
Have you ever seen the Tesla pickup truck skull drag an F-250?
No,
dude. The propulsion that these electric vehicles generate. Now, I'm not like trying to be all pro electric shit here, okay? But I'm just saying, like, that is where the front's going to be on outboards. What else is left? You're going to see one more fish on your stupid electronics. You know what I mean?
I'm actually with Dave on this one. I think they're.
Well, how is that going to help you catch more fish?
Exactly.
It's not, but he said technologically, what is the next advancement in fishing?
Yeah.
That will be the advancement because it's been so stale for so long.
Right.
Well, Torqeedo makes like the equivalent of like a 250 or whatever. It's just ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
But
how big is it though? I'm wondering.
The motor's not all that. It's the deal's the battery.
Here's
a lot of battery.
Yeah.
May I weigh in on this?
Yes.
Propulsion.
You're the host. Go ahead.
Here's the deal. Here's what it's going to be right here.
There's
a new bait category coming. It's coming. and it's going to be based on forward-facing sonar technology. It's going to be a lure category we haven't seen yet. Oh. It's going to move in a way that is trackable on forward-facing sonar better, because now we can see the reaction in real time, and the tools that we've been using we're going to see some of them replaced by baits that do a better job at triggering strikes quicker and more consistently.
It's going to do
from
less,
those blogs.
It's going to do less than a Senko.
They're going to have cameras on the baits.
Pete,
and
you're
you're
saying
going
the
to watch the fish actually come
bait's
and
going to
eat
be
it.
interactive with the electronics.
They already are. They already are now, but we're using existing bait technology now.
See, now how far ahead was Ike when he said it looks like a jig but swims like a crankbait?
Oh, I remember that.
Remember
What event was that?
That was like 30 years ago. I don't know, 20 years ago, dude.
Was that Lake Norman?
I don't know, but it was a long time ago.
It might have been.
Yeah.
It might have been Lake Norman when he won his boat as an amateur.
Yeah.
And he got pressed on stage. How he
Tell
was
me,
catching
you young
them.
Italian.
Yeah, from the north, you damn
you
Yankee.
Yankee Italian.
Get your ass
What'd you
outta
catch
here.
him on? Get out of stage. Go upstage.
Swimming a jig through the timber.
Wow.
Swimming a jig. What do you think?
I'm gonna make a bold prediction, then I'm done
All right.
asking questions. But I will not be alive when this happens. But I truly believe this is going to happen. I think 20 years from now, we're going to have one organization to fish for guys and girls that want to be professionals in this game. I think we're going to have one organization. I also think that there are going to be franchise owners. There is truly going to be a league of which 8 to 10 anglers are actually paid as a franchise player to compete against each other in some type of professional league format. In other words, you might have Birmingham going up against Atlanta, or Philadelphia going up against Oklahoma City. What's left in the tournament organization, guys? Because think about it. The same thing has been done for many, 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 many years, over 50 years. Yeah, what MLF did with the whole catch and release and all that, all right, great. It is what it is. But there has to be some type of evolution take place in this game to, number one, have guys and girls make more money doing the professional game. Because right now I think there's the 10%ers. That's what I call them. I mean, there's
We're
10% of the guys out there that truly are making a very, very good living doing this game. I think the next evolution of this game is to take it to a professional league format, of which you have a commitment of 8 companies or 8 very wealthy individuals that take this game to the next level and create a true professional franchised organization to where 8 to 10 players actually compete each other through a schedule throughout the year. Thoughts?
All right. So to quote Pete Glusick, here's where you're wrong.
Are you taking the cuffs off?
The cuffs are off. Cuffs are off.
I don't say that.
It's
that
going to
often,
be.
do I?
It's going to be 8 to 10 people on YouTube making videos. No one ever actually catches a fish. They just talk about it. They have war. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be on YouTube. No one actually fishes.
All right. Here's my opinion on it. And by 2030, if people don't wake up, the World Economic Forum, led by Klaus Schwab, there will be no professional bass fishing because there will be nobody emitting carbon emissions the way you bass anglers do with your friggin' boats and your trucks. They will eliminate that if you don't wake up.
Oh,
Bam!
I think Dave's right. I changed my answer.
Dave took the cuffs off.
Yeah. Becky, you got anything on this one?
No.
No, nothing.
No. I don't. I actually like what everybody's saying. I think it's all very interesting. I feel like something has to change, but I'm also
I was
looking
just
at
making stuff up.
But I'm also looking at a sport that just hasn't changed.
I'm a drunk Pollock, barely graduated high school.
Wow.
Well,
Sorry,
I will say though, The live was amazing. That was an amazing change that captured a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
Just being able to watch them argue and catch and see what they're really using and how they're using it.
Yeah, but the sport's still the same. The template's still the same.
Well, so is football. Right?
Yeah, but
so is baseball.
I like to go with Brian, believe it or not. There was a poll that came out. I don't never agree with Brian. MTV put a poll up on their story about who fishes tournaments, and it was like 80% of the people on there said no. And then something came up about YouTube, and it was like 80% of the people say yes. So in MLB and NFL, you can't get famous in those leagues by being on a different platform other than on the field or making waves in social media. But most of their money and most is made on the field. In fishing, you can make the money on YouTube just going out for 10 hours a day, coming home, sitting on your computer, editing a video, rather than going out and fishing the tournaments.
That's a generational thing, Jake. Yeah.
Yeah, and MTV's category kind of fits that a little bit better.
Yep.
But your point does stand.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. I agree. That's why I said that shit.
Jake, you made a point that they let you have.
Finally.
Yes.
I'm marking that one.
Yeah, you should.
I didn't know we banged Jake down, did we?
No, I'm messing.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'll gladly help.
Brian calls me. He's like, "No, shut up. We got it." Thank you.
All right,
Hey,
Mark.
Pete, one more quick question. Did you ever do a show in a singlet? Did that ever happen?
Mike donned the singlet. When we wrestled the Miller brothers.
That's right.
Okay.
Yep.
That was so
I nearly got my trachea broke trying to wrestle Dan Miller.
I remember that.
Yeah. I tried to get out of one of his chokes and I almost cracked my neck.
I had him put me in it too.
Yeah.
All right.
That was-
Well, let me say this real quick. Thanks for having me on. It was really, really cool to kind of break out of my retirement mode and kind of dip my toes in the pool again and talk to a lot of people that I care deeply about. And
thank you.
Hopefully Ike Live will.
Becky and Pete.
all 2 inches. All 2 inches. But I am going to make cameo appearances every now and then on BTL. And
yes,
actually,
thank you.
This week, I'm going to come on because there's something that needs to be addressed because of something that I'm kind of involved with on the side. And
are you going to sabotage it with bowling and basketball like you did to us?
No. I'm just going to be directed to the point because that show is about fishing now. It's not about basketball and bowling and hockey and everything else. It's Bass Talk Live, where we talk bass fishing
and nothing else.
That's all we talk about.
Mark, I would rather hear
no bitterness.
Mark, I would rather hear about you boring holes than goddamn fucking drop shots and 6-pound line, dude. I swear to God, man.
There's a lot of dinking and dunking going on the show now. So,
Next time we have you on, it'll all be singlets and handcuffs, Mark.
Nice.
Yeah. So we'll plan for that, my friend.
Bowling balls and singlets.
Becky, thanks for letting me come on. I'm glad things are kind of rolling. I do have a solution. I watched the show earlier with Brian. Him being G.I. Joe with the Kung Fu grip and all that, with the delay in his voice. I think I have a solution for what's going on there. So
we still have it, Mark?
that. Do what?
We still have it?
I don't know. I'm not watching it. So all I see is the Zoom feed.
I thought you already saluted it.
Saluted it.
He put a Band-Aid on
I
it.
thought you already solutioned the problems.
No, the other problems. That was other.
How about Tuesday morning, BU?
I got other problems.
Hey, Mark, you better.
Oh, yeah.
You better get on some grapefruit 45 so this show can last, bro. Because I didn't even know this was still happening with you, man. I thought we figured this shit out. I don't get here early enough to know.
Hey, Mark, by the way, there's a Bass U Live Tuesday morning at 11 Eastern, and we need you to reboot the Bass U Wirecast.
11.
So now you don't get to have Memorial Weekend.
Well,
Wow.
Enjoy Monday, but don't drink too much because we need you up early
And
Tuesday
no basketball
morning.
camps on Tuesday.
All right. So Tuesday morning, you need some help.
Yes, sir.
You going to be there, Brian?
Me? No, I'm going to be out earning a living.
Becky?
I'm always here.
But
Okay.
Pete and
Tuesday I'll make the adjustments and make it happen and get you guys
Thank you,
taken
buddy.
care of.
You're the best.
Appreciate
All
you.
right. Hey, you guys rock, man. Thanks for having me on. Hopefully you'll have me on again.
Hell yeah.
And June, big month for me. I got 3 PBA 50 stops.
Good luck.
More info to come on that if people want to follow my journey on the PBA website. So we'll see what happens. Hey, I have no pressure. I got nothing. Those guys are all legends out there, but we'll see what I can do.
Is it live on YouTube or anything?
It is on bowltv.com.
Bolt?
Bowl.
Okay, Bowl.
Bowl TV.
You got to pay for that shit?
Copy.
I think you get a comp. You get like 30 days free or something.
I'd like to
All
see
right,
you.
we'll
Bolt.
sign up in June.
There you have it.
All right, good luck.
Fine, man. Take care, Pete.
Yeah,
everybody.
thanks.
Thank you.
Great,
You guys
Mark
rock.
Jefferies. Awesome, buddy. Thank you.
That was fun.
That was.
How haven't you guys learned at least one thing the guys got to teach you? Like, how's he got to be showing up every day to turn the show on?
That's on me.
How have you not pushed one button after the guy's name?
What? Dude, what?
Like, how have you not pushed one button after what the dude showed you? You know what I mean? Like,
Listen, dude,
It's complex.
I'm sorry. I'll shut up.
No,
I'll
no,
shut up.
don't. It's not you. It's me and computers. They can all.
Well, that was awesome.
Dude, that was great.
Mark was all.
That was fun.
See him relaxed. Not
No pants.
no pants. Talking bowling.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was fun.
He
That
went
was a
William,
lot of,
yeah,
my
William,
eyes are bad, so I couldn't tell the difference between his leg and the khaki shorts.
he went William Wallace on us.
Yeah. All I saw was leg.
Where was he in the BT the studio?
The MTP studios.
Okay.
We have to. Are we doing an unboxing tonight?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're doing an unboxing, and I've got a couple quick stories while you guys are setting
Well,
that
yeah,
up.
start telling stories because I have left my children long enough.
Yeah. So I worked
And
today.
they're still alive, Becky.
Trying to wrap up a kitchen job, and I was going to tell this when Mark was on, but I get there and the ladies, she's got some cats, and the one cat had gotten attacked while we were there on the job. It got out, and I think maybe the construction they're old, man. This was like an 18-year-old cat, 17, 18. And the construction may have kind of freaked the cat out, so she stayed out or whatever, but she got attacked. And I get there and and it's an awesome lady, and I just got to wrap up a few things and kind of finalize everything. And she's like, "Yeah, I got to take her to the vet. She's really doing bad. I think I'm gonna have to put her down today." And the cat's just laying there on the step, kind of sleeping. And a couple hours later, and I guess I was outside for a minute. I come in, and Doris was a little upset, and she's like, "Yeah, she passed."
What?
Yes, but I thought it was. I thought that was the way it should have happened, right? Not take her to the vet. It should have happened there. So
Yeah.
That was an incredibly depressing story.
I know.
See, you're so sure about the cat on
Share it
the
with you
steps.
guys. I don't want to be the only one suffering here.
God, that thing was dead on the steps the whole time.
Oh my god! I thought he was gonna tell us all of a sudden it turned around.
All of a sudden, it shot up in the air and
Like-
flipped some catnip.
I stayed on the steps.
I grabbed my power tools and put some CPR on the cat. And
What's the second story?
So Logan played his final high school.
So this is depressing too.
Actually, it was. Yeah. His final high school musical performance the other night, and he got to play a song that he composed and wrote himself.
Dang.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was really cool.
That
It
is
was-
really
So he
awesome.
wrote the
Congratulations.
composed the bassoon part and the piano part that his buddy played.
Wow.
It's pretty awesome. We have it chucked up. I think we're going to roll out to it. but-
Does the buddy have
really
like a piano in his house that he can?
Well, Logan, showed him the parts. These kids can play stuff, man. Logan
No,
plays
I
a
remember
whole
being in
bunch
your
of-
house one time with all of them there, like just playing instruments. dude.
Yeah,
they
it's
learned
wild,
on
right?
on their laptops, man. It definitely next level of smarts.
I can't even play chops.
So while we're on while we're on a bad story, real quick, girlfriend and I come home from the store yesterday, and we hear this noise coming out. We got a lot of woods around. Hear this noise coming out of the tree. We're like, "What the hell is that?" You turn around, there's a hawk flying away with a blue jay in its grasp.
A hawk took down a blue jay?
Yo, took it down, and then
Wow.
it,
Blue jays are
it's
big.
flying
they're
through
alphas.
the bushes, and the blue jay drops, and you see 2 other ones chasing it. Like, it was crazy. It's part of nature. You're out there watching. Like, that's cool. Well, she wants to go help the blue jay, so we run and get gloves and a cardboard box, put it in there, and watched it for like 15, 20 minutes. She's like, keeps checking it, and she goes out with the dog. Says, I'm gonna take the dog. I go check on the bird. I check on the bird. I'm like, oh, it's gone. Didn't make it, but we got some cool feathers out of it. But yeah, it's just another bad story of stuff.
Their feathers are
I didn't
legit.
take any fur.
Good gosh. Do you have? Did something bad happen to you?
No. I have a fox that's been running around the field in broad daylight all week, so that's a little unnerving. So I haven't let Quincy outside the fence this week.
Quincy would tear the fox apart, right?
I don't know. I don't want to find out, because why is it out in broad daylight? Like,
Foxes
I don't know
don't
if
even
it's
attack cats.
I don't know if it's rabid.
You're wrong.
Usually
they
not
attack.
out,
They attack people.
but they're usually not
I
out
know
in
a
broad
dude who
daylight.
got banged.
It's got to be rabid.
I know a dude who got banged by a fox. Yes,
rabid. Then
he got lit up, living out in Tabernacle. Got tore up by a fox.
Really?
Kid, yeah.
What was he doing with
a
it?
dad on my kid's wrestling team was going in his back door at night and got attacked, got mauled.
Had to be rabid, right?
I don't know.
Had to be.
Nobody asked the fox if he was rabid.
Yeah, you usually don't see them out in broad
He got
daylight, so
lit.
that's questionable. That's why I'm a little hesitant.
No, I don't know.
All right,
I have an amazing frog in my hand from MTB.
All right, Logan's going to play a song called "Your Mother" that he named, and let's do our unboxing. Your Mother, Logan Stockel. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah. So, what I am.
Stay with it, man.
Yeah, it's a Tatiki frog. If you did not subscribe to MTB, you would not otherwise find this frog. Now, Pete, what I find most intriguing, and Power Bay Paul, check out the head to this frog. It's fortified. It's fortified.
Almost like a scum frog.
No, check out, it has like a helmet on it. So, you know, the front of the frog always wears out after about 5 or 6 fish. It rides up the hook.
Yeah.
Feel the front of that. It's like a helmet on that thing, dude.
Yeah.
Rather rad. And the hooks, of course, are laser sharp. Gamakatsu, I'm suspecting, but
good looking frog.
You would not find this frog otherwise anywhere else, and it is by TAKI Frog. It is 10,000 Fish is the company.
That's Ketchco. That's their brand.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
They do some crazy stuff.
Dude, it's got a helmet. I never would have thought of that.
That company's getting out there.
I took one for the team because I counted how many baits there were and how many of you guys there were. And I took the hooks. Daiichi hooks.
Hey, you can't catch fish without them.
No.
Arguably the most important.
Exactly.
Are we giving this box away to anybody?
Nope, you can take it home.
Whoever can hear us gets it.
Hold on. Who was going to hold on, Pete Kluzek.
Yes.
Who was getting the 7-pound bag? What was that?
Facebook like and share.
Who is going to win Becky ... question?
Nobody.
Nobody? All right.
Nah, wide open.
Rotten bastards.
Power Ray Paul, you're next.
All right, I got the Joko Shaker super floating swim baits. Looks like a Japanese company. Saw it on the back somewhere. But yeah, Lucky John.
There you go.
It's a floating paddle tail swim baits. You know.
Very nice.
That's
Let me
cool.
check them out. Yeah, it's good looking boot tail.
Yeah.
Interesting color for a swim bait. I like that.
Yeah.
I would not pick that one.
I would
like.
How about you,
Power
Power
Ray Paul?
Paul?
Something unique.
Would you use that?
Yeah, I would use that. Honestly, I'd use that in my striper spot. 'Cause stripers and paddle tails.
Yeah.
Go
I
together.
don't know if that worked.
Yeah.
We'll find out later.
I was trying to listen to your son and talk at the same time. Very hard for me.
Your volume went up. You
Yeah.
were trying to talk like you were out at a club, trying to overtalk the music, the band.
I was trying to listen to his son and know him.
That's pretty awesome, though. That's pretty awesome that he composed it himself.
Yeah, man.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Pete, what did you grab?
Oh, you want me next? I got a top order, a Mischief Minnow,
Look at that box.
which is kind of crazy because it's got a blade, and this is interesting because it's going to give you flash. I know some frogs that have blades built into them for the same purpose. Right, you're getting that flash up on the surface. That's very, very unique. Very interesting. So totally unique bait. Look forward to seeing that one.
Is that a spy bait or a prop bait?
It's a top
Oh,
water.
I see. The blade is right there.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking the blade's like right there and there.
The blade's hanging down the center of the bait.
It's a little dangle.
It's a little dang. I'm interested. It looks like a walking style bait. Going to be cool with that flash.
So Pete, if you were to go to some place, what lake do you envision that working on?
Honestly, anywhere that there's bait fish around, I would use this on the Chesapeake.
Yeah.
I would use it on the stock pond I fished.
You're getting right.
Yeah, honestly, that here, I'm glad you said, because here's one of the things. When I take baits that I don't know work, the first thing I do is find a school of fish. When you find a school of fish, that's the time to try new baits.
Yeah.
Like if you try new baits on a lake you've never been to before, you can lose confidence in them real quick. And you don't know if they're effective. You don't know what the deal is.
Immediately.
But once you get on a area that's got fish in it, that's the time to pick up one of these baits and give it a whirl. You can see whether or not they commit to it, whether they don't. It's aggressive. You learn so much about it. So that's a big deal.
Preach, brother.
What do you guys got back there?
Beautiful, Pete.
I got a Phoenix Baits 3/8 Arky head jig, and looks like PBJ.
Swim jig.
Arky head, like a flipping jig. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, is it the double barb Arky? Do they still do that?
No, this
double
is
barb?
This is just single.
Remember that, Brian?
They
the double
got
barb
that,
Arkies?
They got that.
Yeah.
Double up.
What do you got?
I got some crawls, some crows.
Fish hooey.
Fish hooey. Fish
Fish hooeys?
Fish hooas. I got this fish hua crawl. It's got a little jazz hands on it. There you go. Jake.
Unique shape.
What do you want to talk about?
Purple. It's going to go good on the PB&J jig I got in my hand. There you go.
Purple?
It's pretty purple to me.
Got to keep them
It
guessing.
It has a light purplish
A hint.
hue.
Nice.
Keep giving fish a different look. Mystery tackle box. You buy two. You get first 2 months. You get the third one free.
Boom.
Boom.
Wow.
That's the deal. Get subscribed to Mystery Tackle Box. You can have a blast with your family, your son, your fishing buddies.
It's pretty cool,
man.
man.
It's like Christmas every month.
The Pro
Come to your
Box
mailbox.
is rather rad, man.
Yeah.
Use code
Very
Ike
cool.
Live.
Use code Ike Live.
Yeah,
Get it all done.
Jake Live.
BTC, what else? Isn't there another
that's-
sad story on your agenda that we have to talk about?
I feel like there is. Hold on, let me check my notes.
All he did was
I
tell
feel
us
like-
one dead cat.
I feel like we need to tell everybody, though,
Go
right
ahead.
now's the time. If you have a father and you don't know what gift to get him, you've got Mystery Tackle Box.
Yeah.
You've got BU. The Mike Iaconelli shop has got sales right now on apparel, stuff like that. Who else do we work with? Tackle Warehouse.
Tackle
Don't they have
Warehouse.
like a huge 15% off or something
Yeah.
store-wide right
Yep.
now?
Join.
And
Go
10%
to
for
the
the
Ike
military.
Foundation tournament with your dad.
There
That's
you
right.
go.
There you go. Join.
And a new sponsor came aboard, 23andMe. Find out who your dad is. Spit in the cup. Take the test.
Oh, my
You
God.
might be surprised.
Do you know what all that was started for? 23andMe?
Oh, here we go.
Collecting
Back-
DNA.
Sasquatch?
No, collecting DNA, yes. All right, so do your own research.
Carry on. I am not an expert.
It is to
I am not a scientist.
harness the spawn of Cain, find the genetic code of Cain, because if you can compress it, you can bring demons into the realm much easier. This is a theory that's out there. It's also to find the Jesus strain, and
We got a Jesus strain?
there's a Jesus strain and a Cain strain.
No, it's a Cain
And
strain.
this was proposed actually to the federal government to fund. They wouldn't fund it, so it went private.
Dude, they funded staring at goats. So
Wait, how could there be a Jesus strain if Jesus didn't have children?
Well, I'm just telling you what
The theory.
the guy's
There's-
name is the guy's name is oh my God.
There's a theory that Mary
I'll
Magdalene,
get his name. No.
Magdalene and Jesus were.
It was more
May
so,
have.
but it was more so. So listen,
What?
listen. It was more so focused on the spawn of Cain, right? If you can get a pure spawn of Cain, then demons can easily transfer through their realm into that particular person, and it was more or less more so to harness. And actually they have everyone's genetic code, right? Think about viruses that they're creating. They can specifically target people with blue eyes or people with people with certain skin colors. They can absolutely target viruses and pathogens to affect those people specifically because they now have a collection of everyone's DNA they never had before.
And you thought bowling balls were bad.
Yep.
Something to think about, people.
I used it to find my mom and dad. Legit.
There you go.
I did that.
Right. So why would anything else be crazy to think that it's possible? Why, if you found something good out of it, what does the military-industrial complex immediately do with anything? They weaponize it. So why would you not think they would weaponize it at the same time you found something good to be done with it? Do you think they would take all of our information and do nothing with it? After 9/11, they found a reason to violate all of our Fourth Amendment rights, whether we're going through an airport, whether it's through our phones, our emails, or anything. They have the right now to listen to us where they never had that before. Same thing with when we donate our DNA to a collection database.
Oh, yeah. I mean.
Why would you not think they're doing something with it?
Thank you for coming out this evening.
Of course.
And one last thing before Becky's head explodes. The Large Hadron Collider is an 18-mile circumference.
Yep.
Built underneath the Earth. Who paid for that? And why? Right?
More importantly, Brian, first preface this question, what you're saying.
Are you serious? You don't know about this, Rebecca?
This Area 51 you're talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Please first watch the launching of the Hydrogen Collider, the CERN, C-E-R-N,
Yeah.
Charlie Echo Romeo November. Please access first the ceremony that they launched it with. And first, tell me how demonic that is, number one.
I saw that.
Number two, I ask you to, I will not say the name, but phonetically,
Voldemort?
Sierra Hotel India. All right. Shivas is the name of the demon, okay? There's a demon named Shivas that controls their world to our world. And it is been shown hidden in Hindu term. It's like that multiple-legged blue woman that has things in her hands. That is actually the guardian of the demon world to this world. Look up Shivas, C-E-R-N, and make your own decisions from it. But it's very interesting. And I've been down that road. I'm still currently on that road, but it's very deep.
It's been a while.
It's very deep. And it's something cool to look at, guys. I mean, you can't always just fish. All right, you're not always going to be on the water at 11 o'clock at night. Go on the internet and look at some stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
stop watching
teach
the news.
yourselves. Don't watch regular news. It's all lies. All
Dave,
Paul, take us
Dave
home.
wants you to stop looking at porn and start looking at the Shivas.
The Shivas.
No, don't look at that. Be careful with all that demon stuff, because if you are not cloaked, and I was not cloaked, you got to be careful with that stuff. I'm telling you right now.
Did Travis hit you up?
Yes.
Okay.
What was that about?
Yo, I have to put kids
He asked
to
me
bed.
for your number.
I have to put children to bed. We can have this conversation.
All
but
right.
We gotta let the people go.
Just after show.
Yep.
All right. That was an amazing left turn.
It was so abrupt.
But, hey, guys, thanks for
We'll be cloaking
joining us.
ourselves while
Yes.
y'all go to bed.
Yes, we're going to be getting educated on cloaking.
None of you
Shortly.
will. You actually,
Right
none
after
of you
this.
are cloaked.
Dude, way to be so patient and wait.
All the way to the end, and then
strike.
This stuff is always boiling in me, man.
Thanks, Mark Jefferies. Thanks for everybody watching. We'll be back soon with another Ike Live. Thank you, Power Bay Paul, for hanging out with us.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
you.
Thanks for surviving.
Thank you. Thank you. We look forward to seeing you next time cloaked.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll be cloaked.
All right.
Thanks to Dave.
Yes.
Hopefully replacing me.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
tonight's Light You Can Share winner is Michael Hunt. Congratulations, man.
Mike Hunt.